All right. And we are finally live.
Apparently.
The last word with Lord Cognito and Ebontis, the cheetah, the ninja. Little fitness action this morning, getting you all pumped up and hyped for all this great news we're about to talk about. But all jokes aside, E, how you doing, man? It's crazy, crazy times. But other than that, how you been, man?
It's been a rough week. It basically started after our last podcast, actually.
Yeah.
Picked up The Last of Us, which, by the way, also not a easy game to play through.
Yes.
For a whole different scope of reasons, but it started Friday, and it honestly hasn't stopped. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, basically allegations of very inappropriate behavior. It's the nicest way I can phrase it without going into details, which we don't want to do. Came out there about some very prominent people, some very brave individuals, ladies, and there are some gentlemen with their stories and stuff that came forward as well. And it has started just a waterfall of people coming forward, telling stories about either people in our community, unfortunately, which, we always say our community is one of the best ones. Nobody's perfect. We're painfully learning. And it started to expand, and it's kind of still going.
Yeah.
So I was like, I even was going to play some on Friday night. And then by the time I got done doing what I was doing, sat down, I watched it start, and it was almost like watching a slow motion train wreck. I couldn't stop.
Same thing. I believe you had a stream set up, right?
I was planning on playing Last of Us that night, and it didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I jump in, I mean, it's been a rough weekend. It all started, obviously, this weekend. We're not going to get into the gory details of who, what, but obviously prominent members, in our community who, me and E have interacted with and met a lot of these people. So, it was very surprising. And then obviously, again, respect to all the, courageous women who came forward and told their stories. And, it pretty much put a spotlight. So, as the weekend continued and, like you said, a perfect analogy, almost like a train wreck, like you just see this thing happening right before your eyes. And as it goes on and it starts to expand outside the Destiny community and more in the gaming and prime companies and other organizations and streaming platforms. And it just keeps going on and on and on. So, at the end of the day, it's just one of those things where the way I look at it is very sad times. However, the way I always look at things like this is that sometimes the ugliness needs to get exposed so that we can clean house and recognize that, you know what, I got a home, but there's this corner of the room that has this dirt, that has this problem, you know what I'm saying, that has been neglected. And I think at the end of the day, I think it really needed to happen as much as it's overwhelming at times, because we've got to do better as a community. And I love the title that you picked for the thumbnail, like be excellent to each other. We have to be. We've got to be better. And it's a watershed moment for the community, you know what I'm saying, gaming. I know we talked about, obviously last time when, the last podcast we had the George Floyd situation had just popped off, and how saddened we all were, So again, I always feel these are moments in history where we use as a jump off point for change. And hopefully that's what could come out of this. And in reference to the whole streamers and the gaming community and stuff like that, what I hope now is a lot of hardworking people who may not get attention, who may not be part of the in crowd or whatever, get some light shine on them for the hard work that they do. Because we got to now promote these people, because they are also positive. There are a ton of still positive members in our community. So that's what I got, man. But it's been a rough week.
Well, I mean, that was some of the things, and for me, it was, I'm the wrong person to have basically anything to say about anything we've got on screen. So the one above my head, Black Lives Matter, we talked about that before, and that is, protests are still going on, which is good. They seem to have gone more in a peaceful direction. I think the initial, bad apples per se, whatever you want to call, it seems to have gone at least in a good direction. Then all this is happening in the middle of Pride Month, which is
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing for anyone who
Yep.
basically just walks what a lot of people would call a different path, but it's what they want
Mhm.
to live, and they
Exactly.
should be allowed to live it equally. And it's
Hmm.
not an easy thing for them to do. And then to just tack this one on top, and the reason the teal ribbon is up there, it's the sexual
Hmm.
assault awareness color.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's the reason I did put that one up there. That's what it's for.
Hmm.
Um, couple of the stories that I read, like just like
Break you, man.
they were really really hard to read. I mean, they're ones that
Hmm.
people should read because if it turns your stomach inside out, that's the right reaction because it's awful.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, I mean, for me, I can't I can't picture what some, for one, the strength that
Hmm.
some of these people have to go through what they did
Yeah.
and still be the decent people that they are, keeping it
Right.
inside. And then on the other
Right.
side, I can't fathom what type of person does some of the things. And it's like some were not specifically related to the gaming community. One I read was just literally like a step parent growing up. And that was
Right.
one of the hardest because there was nowhere for that person to go.
To go. Yeah.
Um, and it got worse between, if they got to be, defensive or anything, it got taken out on a different kid, like
Hmm.
another sibling. So then in
Hmm.
turn they sit there and like to protect that sibling, they take it more. And it's like you
Yep.
see movies about this stuff, but when it's a real person describing this stuff, and it's just
Hmm.
disgusting,
It's
awful,
different.
painful, and I cannot imagine the mental state that somebody has to go through for that. It's
Hmm.
terrible. And me,
Yeah.
as a white guy with a relatively decent life, I'm just sitting here going, I can't say I'm sorry enough. And I feel like anything I do say word wise, just like before, like
Hmm.
my words feel so empty. But it's like, as you said
Hmm.
also as well, this is the point where we need to start having change.
Yes.
And I'm no better than anybody else because I sat there and watched, like I've watched, a friend act out in a moment, and
Hmm.
it was a group of us, and none of the guys said anything. Should have,
Hmm.
right there. Should not hesitate. Just be like, hey, stop that. That's crap. Don't do it. And right there.
Hmm.
And it applies to all of these. If we
Yes.
can't stand
Yes.
by anymore.
Good
We
point.
can't just watch. We can't just be
Yeah.
like, it should get resolved, or that looks terrible. It's like, no, doesn't matter who you are. We all need to try and
Mhm.
like fight for that change.
Right. And I think you nailed it because at the end of the day, in all three situations and scenarios, or what we have listed on the thumbnail, whenever there is abuse or, God forbid, life loss, you know what I'm saying? Like, that should never be acceptable. There should be a moral compass going on inside so that if you can't tell that person to stop, then you need to not only separate yourself from the situation and get help to those that need it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. It's just like we always talked about empathy, right? It's empathy and compassion and just not, and we got, again, love the title. We have to be excellent to each other. We have to treat each other correctly. And that's how we're going to get through this as a community on all fronts, man. It literally comes down to it. Human empathy, bro, you know? So again, I've read a lot of these accounts, somewhat a little bit too much to take, and it had the
Yeah.
desired, effect. And there's definitely a sensitivity now. There's definitely, a moral compass, I think, that has been awakened of surprise of what has actually been going on. So again, I always think situations like this, as painful as it is, as tough as it is, I think in the long run, it ends up being a good thing that it happened because now we have the awareness and now things can actually change. You know what I'm saying? Again, whether it be, BLM, excuse me, and people, losing their lives against, or police brutality, things of that nature, whether it be sexual assault victims, people who are suffering in silence, who have been abused by people for position in power, whether it be our LGBT community, you know what I'm saying? Again, people just allowing to live their lives and love who they want to love, and it's no big deal. We just, you play video games, I play video games. That's how I look at it. You're a gamer, we're brothers off top. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care about any of that stuff. So it's just one of those things. Like, shout out to him for saying, yeah, good vibes, man. Shout out to him. I'm using his term too. Yeah, it's all about the vibes, man. Positive vibes. Gaming is supposed to be a unifier. And I always get into this with people on Twitter. And it's like, bro, I don't care about the console thing. That's cool. It's fun, like sports teams. But at the end of
Yeah.
the day, if we should not be beefing with each other over, what I'm saying, that stuff, because this is the thing that we share. that keeps our mind off all the negativity in the world. So how can we be beefing about it or using this as a power advantage against other people? It's just stupid. That's just what
Yeah, and hopefully,
it is.
for one, I will say, yeah, the Destiny community people is hopefully is cleaning house pretty hard, which is good.
Yeah.
But I will say it was really good to see a lot of the community just stand behind these women, and probably one of the toughest thing that they've ever had to do.
Yeah.
To stand behind them and support them and just say, hey, we're here for you. And it was just nice because that's one of the hardest things typically is when somebody chooses to speak out is how they are received.
Right.
And it's the fear of backlash, fear of a whole lot of things that they may face. And there were a lot of positivity just to, we're here for you. We're so sorry. All those things were there. And it was nice to see that type of support fairly quickly by such a large number of people. And that I think that alone gave other people the stepping stone to be like, hey, they were supported. They came out. They told this hard story. I think this is actually a good place for me to tell mine. And that chain reaction spread a lot farther than anybody thought.
Yeah. Like said.
But like it was
huge.
Yeah, the courage and the bravery of ladies and some gentlemen as well. Some were, I was like, it's not just ladies, some guys as well. Yeah. And some people like, oh, guys, no, it doesn't matter either way. It's like whether it be mental, whether it be physical, it doesn't matter. You can get messed with no matter kind of who you are, because somebody can screw with you mentally just as easily as anything else. And absolutely. And that one can hang longer.
Yeah, and we just gotta be respectful. We have to listen. You know what I'm saying? And that's to say shout out to the dogs he's listening to.
The wolves are there. Yeah, that's right. Somebody's probably outside walking right now. That's it.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, man. I mean, we gotta be respectful. We gotta listen, and accountability. You know what I'm saying? That has to happen. So, hopefully now we can move forward as I believe it was Black Wings. Yeah, time to cut out the cancer for those. That was still remaining.
Yeah. Yep.
Sure.
So yeah, it's one of those. It's not a fun topic to discuss. We don't want to go into specifics, and we don't plan on it. Right. But it is definitely something that needs said. And the reason we titled the podcast this, Bungie has the excellent message as well. It's kind of why I put it out there. Be excellent to each other. I think all of this together combines to something that's really sad, and it's the idea of just human decency.
Yes.
And it's really, really sad in this day and age that we have to talk about, address, and try and hope for general human decency when we are in times like this. And it seems simple to ask for, but on the other side, it's yeah, it's like Maddie McMaddie says it ain't hard to be good to each other, and it seems like it shouldn't be. It's like I try and be a decent individual. I'm never going to claim to be perfect, but I try and be decent to my fellow human, and I feel like that's all we ask for. But we can't also. It's the standing by we can't do, but it's just the golden rule. It's like do unto others, as you would like done unto you. However, that's exactly phrased. But it was like one of them I read too is like. I can't remember who said it, but they're just like, if any of this stuff had happened to a child of mine, I don't have kids, I have 2 dogs, but if I had a child, it's like, it would take every bone in my body not to just lose my mind on said individuals causing that type of trauma, pain, scarring, mental or physical, any and that type of stuff.
Preach.
If you ever need to think about it, and if you can't get to this level, then you probably need to go away. But yeah, if you don't think this is an appropriate thing to have, actions towards one of your children down the road in the future, don't do it. So that's like,
exactly.
Yeah, do unto others as you would have done unto you. Thank you, Crystal.
Yes.
So it's
no, absolutely. And I think the last point I want to make is that reference community stuff, and like I said, community definitely, Destiny can be definitely took a hit. There's no question. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's one of those things where, now we're doing this. We see the action by Bungie. They're swift. They're not playing. And I love how they are reacting. You know what I'm saying? It's really cool to see. And I just feel that now maybe a bit of the gating and the power playing, all that can really come to an end. And because now people's, stuff is content's getting removed, it's getting real, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to engage in that kind of behavior, it's getting real tough to be an idiot. You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting y'all know right now. This climate, it is real tough. So it's time to start maybe assessing yourself, or maybe even if it's not you, who you associate with, because that's going to be reflected on you and your brand. That it really is. So you got to do a better job, because again, some of the stories I read, about certain clans and things, specific moments, I actually remember, watching people do their world's first raid and get doxxed, and all this hateful stuff that I remember these things, man. It's really, really sad that there were groups that were kind of doing this stuff and exploiting people. And that one hit hard for me, because I've had personal experience with those type of attacks and stuff like that. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. You don't want to wake up living in that world, and no one deserves to go through that. So salute to, at least that's why I say it is good, because salute to that stuff being exposed, so now it can stop and people can actually live in peace and without harassment. So that was another part that I got out of it.
Yep. Yeah, Vagabond had a very nice thing. It's all of us. It's like you, me, everybody. We have to find the courage to step up when we see it happen, and that's how. And that's hopefully what we can go for, is that we can take, as you said, these moments and all around the world of what's going on to be a step for positive change, to not stand by anymore, to step up when something bad goes wrong, to hopefully, like, people are seeing this and this like steers them to make those positive decisions. Just use this as a time to change. Use this as a time to self-evaluate. Take a second and look at yourself in the mirror and say, first off, nobody's perfect.
Yes,
I can guarantee you,
no one's perfect here. We all got and also it's accountability, because I've seen some examples of some people get called out. I know, and they said, you know what? I don't recollect that I did it, but if I did, I was wrong. I was sorry. That should never have happened. And I actually seen one positive thing. I seen a resolution happen online.
Yeah.
Where the apology was then accepted, and then calls and people talking to each other. And, because again, in your mind, that person's mind, they may think it's all joke and games or whatever, but you really hurt someone. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing too. So also communication is key too, because there's times, listen, me go at it all the time about different things. But like one thing I was like, yo, you know what? Let's pick up the phone, because the last thing I want to do is get anything misconstrued, and a lot of problems can be solved. You'd be surprised by actually talking to each other, because two people can have a recollection of events that's totally different from each other, even though there's one truth, and you can kind of meet in the middle. So that's another thing too. That's just my opinion that needs to happen. That I thought was actually positive that I saw online.
Yeah, I was like, and that one that I know of was on the smaller scale of things I think that have happened.
Smaller,
but and that's why I was like, some of the stuff is kind of unforgivable.
There's some that just says,
it's like there. But I was like, when at least there's a, but it's like the eye-opening moments, however they happen, are very important right now. And some people are saying it's like, one person in chat basically just saying, hey, I might have to see about getting a new clan. Not sure how they are. This is a time to check all the people you hang around with. I've always had a fairly small group of friends, short list generally, not a ton, because not a lot of people that I've been around for a long term have been as reliable or just, prove to be worth keeping in your life. And this is one of those points where you need to check who is in your life.
That's a fact.
It's tough. Those are some of the hard points, especially if you've known somebody for a while. But it's like, if they're toxic, if they're dragging you down, if you look and be like, is this an actual friendship, or is this just like an abusive acquaintance? I mean, there are certain ones, just check who's in your circle, and it may be time to clean up that circle and push some of the unwanted people out of it.
That's a fact. I know about that. I've been around. I know I've done a lot of cleanup, man. I used to have a ton of quote friends. And I think there's a difference between real friends and acquaintances. You know what I'm saying? And you have to separate that, because if you're around those people, that brings you down. And I'm too old for negative energy, bro. I can't, bro. It's too much already going on in life. I don't got time for someone and they foolishness and negativity or abusing others. Nah, that's not gonna happen. So, yeah, that's a great statement. Ian. You have to clean up house with your friends and see who's in your circle. That's very important. You have no idea.
Yep.
Hmm. Yeah, man.
So let's take this moment all together and just see if we
Mhm.
can change for the better. Um,
Yes, sir.
if we stick together, if we support each
Hmm.
other, and we call out things that are bad,
Hmm.
kick out the bad apples, hold on to the good ones, and make a positive
Hmm.
place both in the gaming communities that we're in, both in
Yep.
the larger communities that we act in, and in real
Hmm.
life. Just people that are out there. It's harder to call
Yeah.
things out. I'm probably one of the most non-confrontational people.
Hmm.
Want to try and get along, want to try and be nice, don't want to like be in the middle of the action,
Right.
but it's like it's not right to watch anything anymore. So that's
Exactly.
I got
The
to
days
get
is
out,
over.
and that's what I was like I got to get out of my own box. Just
Yeah,
got to do
we
it.
all do. We all got to improve. We all got to improve. Me too. I mean, I have to keep a mind of who I'm associating with because it all reflects on me and what I'm trying to build. And like, we chat been saying, so we've been on this positive vibe tip. I just can't have negative energy. I can't have people pulling me down. I represent some things too. I got, obviously Iron Low Podcast, a website, I'm trying to do things as well. And, I've always told people like, hey, I mean, I know people from back in the day that I'm like, hey, if you continue in these activities, bro, that's one of them just called me. It's funny yesterday. One of them called me that I hadn't talked to in a while, and he actually is now in the process of changing his life. And he just said, "Cog, I understand why you kind of stepped away from me because he knew he was toxic, and he had to make changes in his life." And I said, "Look, it was never negative. I just couldn't be around it, especially for what the mission I'm on is totally different from what you were on at that time. So it wasn't, and we. But what's funny is years later we've reconnected, and I see some real changes in his life. So it's good to see." Mhm.
Well, I mean, it's like we could sit there and hash out different variations, but we had to
Yeah, man.
we couldn't not talk about this.
Hmm.
As broad as it got and as important as it is,
Hmm.
but see if we can move on to something at
Yeah,
least a little
man.
better, a little
Hmm.
more positive, at least a little more of our joys of escapism entertainment that we get into sometimes.
Yes, sir. This
Uh,
this this game of ours.
what?
I
We play games?
know. I know.
Um, but yeah, so
Hmm.
what have you been up to in this world of Destiny, this
Hmm.
thing that we do actually play sometimes, despite when you're staring at a screen and things
It's
are going
meetings.
on? But yeah, it's
I
like,
know. Yeah, look, man. I've been playing a ton this week. I am back in, y'all. I was slacking the first week because I was just kind of getting back into motions and stuff like that. I took some time off, but this week I've been going hard, bro. I've been I think I'm up to. I went from like 10:20. I'm out 10:55, almost 10:60. I've been
nice.
rocking. I've been loving the grind. I'm not gonna lie. Doing I think the combination of the pinnacles being regular activities. I'm really digging that. I've been feeling. I'm loving the weekly story beat. I am loving the cradle, going in there, seeing what's going on, and I love it solo. I don't do it with it's so fun and challenging solo. I think it adds to the tension. So I've been loving that. Listening to Nocris, listening to what's going on in there. It almost gives me a little Shattered Throne, not Shattered Throne, like a Ascendant Realm vibe when you do those joints. So I've been doing
Yeah.
that. Umbral focusing has been fun. Charged with Light builds have been fun. Finally got my guillotine. Finally got my what's the post? The hard hitting post. Damn, the new one. Forgot the name.
Cold
Denial
Denial?
something. Yes, Cold Denial. But rocking that wicked good game. What's going on, bro? Yeah, my bad, yo, Dom. If that, yeah, man. So I salute. I was supposed to hit you up. Got caught up with work, man, and then I ended up on PC late. So my bad. We were supposed to get some Xbox on it. Shout out to the Xbox crew. But yeah, man. So it's been fun. It's been really fun. I've really been having a lot of fun with this season. And yeah. In fact, man, Nakara's been talking strong, man. He's been talking real strong in that joint. And I did a little bit of Crucible, been messing with some lineups, some build. Oh, and I did last thing, I did my vault clean. That was tough.
Ah,
That was tough. That was tough. But I
mine's
have
an
to admit,
ongoing right now, but it's like I'm hovering under, but I probably need to do
hmm
another one.
but I gotta admit, yo, some guns ain't get deleted. I just couldn't. Some of the Black Armory guns, like bro,
Oh, I kept my
the
Tatar gaze.
Yeah, I was like, God curated role kindled. I couldn't do blast furnace, bro.
I wouldn't
I
get rid of
couldn't
it.
do it.
No, it's like
I
there's
couldn't
some
do it.
guns. Well, I mean, they're useful still in like 85% of
Yeah,
stuff. So you
yeah.
want to go in Crucible and be like, hey, we got a new map with a bunch of range. Well, it pulses.
Mm-hmm.
If they're in a decent place, I get killed
Mm-hmm.
by blast furnace plenty. So
Yeah,
if you got
yeah.
that like,
Mm-hmm.
chef's kiss god roll, then hold it. There's no
Yeah,
reason
I
to get rid
couldn't.
of it for most of the game.
Got a curated. Yup, Chris, yeah, I got that. It's a couple of one and the rituals, man. I couldn't. Recluse ain't getting touched. Still love Recluse. I'm rocking that till the wheels fall off. And
I mean, it's
I
going
gotta
to be
start
in
using
regular Crucible for a while, I'm
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, yeah. So that's been it. But I've been really loving the season so far. It's just a basic grind, but I think it's really done well. I think the combination of the focusing, the pinnacles being in the core activities, and the story, the weekly story beats where we're getting a little bit more, and it's being done well. So that's been it for me. What about you? How's your grind been? What's been going on with you?
Working more on pinnacles at this point because I hit 1050 on two of mine. My hunter barely touched.
Mhm,
But I'm 2
mhm.
characters I've been going through trying to do the weeklies, especially trying to work on leveling up the prismatic recaster. It's a little slower
Yeah.
since I haven't touched my hunter. I know if you'd done all 3, you'd probably be about done by now, but I
Yeah.
haven't done all 3, so I'm a little behind.
Mhm.
All in all, though, I am enjoying like the idea of focusing like towards. I want to go
Mhm.
after cold denial and guillotine.
Yes.
I mean,
Me too.
that's when you unlock those, and it's like I think it was season pass 50 when I got or 45. Whenever I
Mhm.
got the cold denial and guillotine both, you could start
Mhm.
going for that one focus because
Yes.
pulse feels pretty good, and then
Yeah.
guillotine is just melter with the
Woo!
right specs on it.
Bro, with that, what is that keen joint? That keened when it proc? It's called. I know it's called keen. The build name when it's proc, but the actual mod is called something else. Lucent Blade.
Oh, that yeah. If you go
Yeah,
hard
bro.
on those, yeah.
He said, bro.
Well, even if you don't even need loosen. If you can just go guillotine with
Relentless and
Whirlwind.
Whirlwind.
Whirlwind and boss spec,
Beast.
just
No, dude,
melt
you-
stuff.
You haven't seen greatness until you throw that Lucent Blade. You haven't thrown it on yet?
I think I did. No, I was messing with sidearms. Actually, I haven't done that one yet.
Bro, do this. Throw that on because all you need is that. I think it's like a four piece on energy, and then you need another blue arc mod to get the recharge rate as a secret perk to proc in that thing. Go into contact with that. It was like 3 of us all in there with guillotines, looking like Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, wrecking these things. Like I was looking for the boss. I was like, "Where y'all at? Who got a name? Who out?"
That's why
It's crazy.
Titans are honestly a good thing to have with those swords. You just bubble and,
Yeah.
and just go to
Oh,
town.
man. Come on, dog. He said the fact that I need to grind Gambit and be for means to it end this week. Come on, do Gambit Prime. It's 1 round. Come on, dog. We can do better.
So was it this week was Gambit or was it last? Last week I thought I played, or is it this?
Mhm.
I know the grind you're talking about on that one.
Mhm.
There was an option to do this last week. Reckoning was really fast.
Yes.
Reckoning tier
Yes.
1, just go hunt down
Mhm.
the bosses. It went.
Oh, this week was
This
I
week's
joked
Menagerie.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
This week is
up in
Menagerie,
this.
and that was.
Mhm.
I think Tassie said on one character he had it done in 1 run.
1 run.
I had it done in 2.
Mhm.
And it seems to be based on ability kills, majors, stuff like that seem to drop those.
Mhm.
So if you're involved in killing the bosses, the majors, using abilities, if I'm just shooting like red bars with a gun,
Mhm.
they don't seem to drop
Mhm.
as much. But pretty much all
Mhm.
the other stuff seems to elevate it up.
Bro, I have fun. Oh, forgot. Raided this week. I did
You-
2 raids.
What?
Bro, I did Classic Leviathan. Finally got my Acreus on PC. So I got that. I gotta
do
work
you
on
have
the catalyst.
Yeah, we need to get the catalyst or the highest level you got to do the
Yeah, I got
prestige or
I gotta do
whatever.
prestige.
Yeah, I got to
We
do
did
the same
that,
thing.
and we did what you call it? We did Salvation. We've been raided. I gotta shout out to Attic, man. Shout out to Scream. It was me, Scream, Attic. Shout out to Hans, new member of our clan. Real cool dude. He's from the Texas area. I gotta shout
nice.
him out. Yeah, shout out to Hans Gretel in the chat. That's his nickname. But yeah, we had a good crew, and then we just got a 6 through LFG because we had missed one. Forte was in the building. Of course, shout out to Forte.
Of course.
Always, you know what I'm saying, in the building. We got to get you in the last word, sir. But yeah, man, we had a good. Actually, all right. I have to admit though, raids is when your friendship get tested. Because yeah, because remember when me, you, and Scarrow did Salvation?
Yeah, just burn the final boss basically with him.
How clean it was, and we were out there. We had a little issue. Some people wasn't doing things they were supposed to be doing. We're like, yo, you're on the build team. No, you're supposed to jump in. What's going on? And then like the tether mechanics are still a little touchy. Because you step next to someone. Yeah.
Yep.
So we had a little issue. Took us a couple of runs, but we did get it. And because the issue was our DPS was good as far as mount. We had like a 2-phase, but it was just our coordination with certain things other than that. But I love it. Man, I still know Divinity. Wow, yeah, you need Divinity.
Did you get Divinity yet?
I don't have Divinity.
I finally got it, actually.
Wow, I'm jealous.
I finally got it. Yeah, I got Divinity. I don't have Anarchy, honestly, because I just haven't run Scourge that much, so I got to run Scourge. This is the season, because they bumped up that percentage, so run it as much as you can.
Yes.
But I will definitely say Divinity's little puzzles that you had to do, that was fun.
Yes.
Nice. They were entertaining, and when you get to stuff like people, I got pulled through. Shout out to Ares and his solid group of raiders. I've raided a couple times with him on Garden. Butter smooth, like butter smooth to a point where if I'm just like managing the ads that I'm,
you're fine.
Easy peasy raids. Yeah, seriously,
bro. I gotta get down with Tiger Style, man. Them boys. They run a tight ship, man. Shout out to Luz from your clan. I like Luz too. Aries, you deal with him on the raid side. I deal with him on the PvP side. And I like Luz, man. He gets me hyped, man. Oh my God. So much fun to run PvP with those guys and trials with those guys. So much fun. Continue. So you were saying with the easy peasy raided, just smooth?
Yeah, no, it's like I think I've gone 3 times with them because I think I did 2 clears and then it was like specifically Divinity Run he pulled me in for, and I appreciate believe me, I appreciate that. Because they knew exactly what to do, where to go, how to run it. They'd done it plenty of times. And then somebody was like, hey, can you help us with a garden run? It's just another team. And as you're saying, is a different feel. The well-oiled machine versus the hiccups and bumps along the way. You're like, I'm like, dude, why are we wiping right now, guys? Like the other team I was with, they just knocked it out. Like I'm handling my stuff. You guys got to handle yours. And I'm saying this is like and I'm not an expert. And I'm just like,
Yep.
It's the well-oiled raid experiences are what I would love a lot of people to experience because you get to see cool mechanics. You get to see like the teamwork mission together. You got the little gambit run down the hallways. We're managing the bosses, shooting the eyes. You're like kind of sets of 3. You come together, line up, bubble here, well here, melt, keep melting, chase them down.
I will say this though, had a lot of fun doing Leviathan over. I got it does feel, first of all, it feels good being overpowered coming up in the raid. Like, that feels good. I'm like, swords and all this didn't exist. All these builds didn't.
Swords, man, they do change that raid.
Remember the dogs with the spores? We messed up and got like 1 run of spores. We threw that guillotine on them dogs. It was a wrap. I was like, oh my God, this is, the things we were doing in that raid was Callus didn't even want to smoke. Like literally maybe 2 plates. We almost 1 plated them. You know what I'm saying? But 2 plays was fun. It really is a good raid. Aesthetically, it just, again, I felt it should have been a little bit more bosses. But if you look at the scope and how it's designed, how all the things connect to each other, like Leviathan is good, man. I really, really enjoyed it.
And that's kind of the thing too about Leviathan. You picture Spire. What the hell's the basement?
What is it? The one with the Vex thing?
Yeah, the big trash can.
What is it? What's the name of the second one?
Somebody.
Eater
of Worlds. Yeah, Eater of Worlds. So you got Eater, Spire, Leviathan. Like all of like the connection between. So that is when they say Leviathan's going. Like that could be could be bigger than like EDZ. I don't know. Like there's a lot going on in there for like textures and areas to roam and just like so much of that underbelly and connection areas, especially just in regular.
And the menageries in there.
Yeah. Well, menagerie
like, look how much
and Crown.
And Crown. Yo, you know what's crazy? I haven't done Crown yet. I gotta do Crown.
I've
never done Crown.
Yeah, I was like Taraba or however I say that wrong probably every time.
You have it?
I do not. I've finished that thing one time.
Okay, I've
So.
never done it at all. I got to do.
I need
Spire?
I need to do Spire. I've actually never done Spire.
All right, Spire.
Prestige
I have a
Leviathan.
love-hate. I have a love-hate. Prestige Spire I don't like only because I hate the weapon requirement foolishness. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, this week you could only use
This and that.
sidearms and that and this.
Oh yeah,
and,
you'll see
and
like
I'm
sidearms,
ugh.
submachine guns, and swords, and you're like, how am I supposed to hurt anybody?
Yeah, I'm like, what DPS am I doing with this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like,
Gotta pull out
ugh.
Rat King with like sidearm spec up or something.
Yeah,
Shout out to a known tester of weapons. We tried a 6-person sidearm build with like the 5 stack of sidearm like God cartridge or whatever it is. It's like some crazy like spec with charge of light. It didn't do a damn thing to Riven. It was like shooting like little packing peanuts up there at her.
Riven, bad Riven.
Yeah, bad Riven, bad Riven. And Riven's up there like
boosh, wipe.
Yeah, we tried that one. Not enough. Definitely not enough on that one.
The only reason why I'm even thinking about Spike because you know how much the sleeper fanboy I am.
So I gotta wonder, it's like, they gotta put that in the game somewhere else.
They got to put it in the game. Like I'm banking, I'm betting, I'm praying.
I mean, it's
to
3
the
years old. Go put that in the strike pool. Yeah, go put that in.
No one's running these raids, right? No one's gonna run Eater. No one's running Spire like that. Please, if you we know they're being removed. Please put them in the loot pool.
I feel like I know people are going to be like, oh, but I went through the Prestige Spire 20 times to get this thing. It's like, it's been out for 3 years. Maybe it belongs in like, Master Nightfalls. Maybe it's in a certain place like that where you still have to challenge to get to it. But they have to bring some of those. Telesto and Sleeper are both Eater of Worlds and Spire. And then I need to finish. See, I will do like Prestige Leviathan. That's not so bad. Your little challenges.
Yeah, that's not so bad. Yeah, Prestige.
But it's like, and that for accuracy, I just need a group of people who want to do it. But like the other two, I've heard not the favorite.
Yeah, no, actually, people like Eater. I'll be honest. So you've never done Eater at all?
No, I've done Eater. No, people like Eater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that I know. People are like, it's one of the coolest ones. They enjoy that one.
Yeah,
but like, Spire's the one that.
Spire's I don't like that greed ball thing. You got to run with the ball and you know what I'm saying? It just. The boss mechanic is a bit weird. I don't know. I just don't feel like usually each raid I feel has a rhythm, right? Each raid I feel has a flow generally of what needs to be done. I don't never felt Spire's encounters were fun. Like I never said, I was like, oh, this is fun. Like I felt Eater was fun cooking the little cranium things and going around. That's fun. I think each raid has something fun about. I love Leviathan with the plates. I mean, even their little American Ninja moment is kind of silly but fun in a way. You're going in there, who's gonna make the jump and that kind of stuff. And I just feel. And what was it, Scourge? Scourge had a few moments. You had your little Sparrow moment inside. You got the Metal Gear thing. I don't know. It's just something about Spire that annoys me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just
there's a lot of people that don't like it, so you're not alone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But shout out to Scarrow for picking Spire as his best music, #1 raid music. He's got Spire #1. He's got Spire. Then he's got my joint. I had to hit him up. He's got Last Wish, Escape from the Heart. That
one's cool.
Escape with Riven's Heart. That joint. I go crazy when that beat comes on. Yeah. Now, Gambit has a variation of it when you play Gambit. There's a variation of that beat before you start, but that's not the beat. The beat is actually when you fight Shirochi and when you fight, when you escape with the heart. That is the great. And then I go front. You know what he did though? What he did. All right, I got to give it up to King's Fall, man. I got to get. Not that I hate King's Fall, but yeah. I go. I forgot how that. That's boss music.
Yeah.
When Oryx comes out and
that's the boss fight, I would say. Like Riven is probably that scale, but Oryx is almost like the biggest like scale and severity like importance of a boss that we fought. I mean, we fought Zal in a story mission.
Story mission and
sadly,
killed him in a story mission.
Killed him in a story mission. That was definitely not enough justice for a hive god, a worm god. But the Ascendant Realm version of Oryx, No,
Mhm.
that was justified.
Oh my god, it was so good, so good. Love that joint, man. Big time, big time.
Kyle was like,
What?
Worm got killed with a scout rifle. Let's go.
Let's go. Yo, that's a fact. That's a
Worm
fact.
got
It was
pew,
very
pew,
deflating.
Pew, pew, pew. I got him.
Pew,
I
pew,
got
get
him.
out
I got him. Yeah, that's it's again, Destiny has ups and downs. To say the least, that was not a shining moment of like, hey, these are worm guts. Hey, I just shot him with. You could have done the same thing with a sidearm if we had him at the time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, man. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So like, there's
one of
yeah. I was reading the same thing actually.
Dakota.
So
Yeah.
Dakota's asking a couple things, and that's one of those things you think about Leviathan, and this kind of ties back into how I wanted to ask you to see how you think this is all going to go down. So we've been on
What's up?
IO for 3 weeks with the pyramid shippy public event contact guy.
Mm-hmm.
A little they said the pyramid scale has arrived, which I think is funny because it's like balances perfectly on that point. 3 weeks here. We got the 3 story missions. I got the Triumph that you've seen all 3 versions of the
Yep.
whatever it is. So we've seen the 3, which honestly, the fact that we got like, they're basically 3 legit story missions. Like the arenas are different. You go through the tree, but then you get into the Ascendant Realm. Each one's got its own unique spin to it. You're there for a little while. If you do them solo, they can be
So
a bit
much
of a
fun.
challenge, man. Like they're
love it.
fun.
I love
They're
it.
so much fun. And they're
so
like,
much fun.
I mean, the fact that we got like 3, like you could make those strikes. You could straight up make any of those things strikes, and I would have some fun in there because you got the, you got the enemies to kill, the spawns, the damage you'll do to the Shrieker, shut it down. I mean, Savathun's song is leaving, but you got literally 3 versions of it right here fighting Shriekers every time.
Yep.
So that one's cool. But so now the question is about this season.
Right.
Tassie actually had a good video. He's like, I kind of beat the season. He got to season pass 100. So
okay, damn.
in his grind, he's also been, working on umbrals. And if you play enough, your umbrals just like fall. You get them a lot.
Umbrals come.
So if you start like, focusing a couple here, don't focus them all. Watch that currency because it's not that common.
Yeah.
You're gonna burn through it. But you got, your umbrals you start to get. Everybody wants like a good cold denial, a good guillotine, a good whatever the arc sword is. I can't remember it either.
Damn. It's
the one. It's the
guilty, and then the other one. Damn, what's the other one name? Yeah, I'll tell
somebody
you.
help me out here.
What's
But
the
so you
other
got
side?
a couple cool swords. You got a couple. But he said he's like, I kind of got my god
Temptation's
rolls.
Hook.
What?
Temptation's Hook.
Temptation's Hook. Yep. So you've got, but again, you've got the 6 new ones this time around. You've got some other ones. People like, if you get a Feeding Frenzy multi-kill kip Truth Teller, it's kind of a god roll. That's a beast,
Fire.
little cool. So, I mean, there are some to go for, but you start to get some decent rolls while you grind up. And depending on how much you play, we've seen the 3 story missions. We're going to probably get another cup. Next week is probably going to be Titan. I was wondering if it was this week because like 2-week rotation. But if you guys didn't know, the season is like 15 weeks long. We still have 90 days left in the season now, or a couple days ago. I think it reset. So it's a long one.
Yes, sir.
So we've got Titan maybe next because that's the only other achievement we've got. So that's my assumption why it's next.
Wow.
Probably 3 weeks there. Maybe 3 weeks on Mars. Maybe 3 weeks on Mercury. I think Leviathan is just going to like drive out of the solar system at some point. I don't think there's going to be a pyramid ship in Leviathan. I think Leviathan's just as big as the pyramids, if not bigger, and could swallow one, but there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
But still, if it's 3, 3, 3, and 3, just the repetition of the stories. And it does seem like there's 14 triumphs with Eris. Because we had Eggshell last week, we had White, we had, can't remember the first one still, but we had 3, but there's 14. So there's like maybe a 1 week buffer in there where it's like, right before we switch to Beyond Light. So 3 week, so we've seen most of what we're going to see potentially. I know. So now the things that we do, spoiler warning, we have potentially 2 exotic quests.
Yes.
One, which is lengthy, I'm going to be honest. From what I heard, we had Jarvan. He said there's like 22 steps to it. Some are potentially probably going to be time gated, I would imagine, on that one as well. We have the one that has been teased. This is not spoilers because Bungie tweeted this one out. The Ruinous Effigy. This is the trace the Void Trace Rifle that makes the little black holes, and then the relics that you can pick up and go dunk at an enemy. Have you seen that?
I've actually missed out on those. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Remind me after, and I'll tweet it. Just DM it to you.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, it's a trace rifle. When the trace rifle kills somebody, I don't know if it's every time or if it's a chance that it will. It made this little like kind of looking void orb thing. You see the hunter pick it up, jump, and then basically slam, like almost like a rift slam. But he slams it on an ogre, kills the ogre.
Interesting.
So it's like you make this little relic, and then it's this like little bomb you can go run around with and dunk and use somewhere else. So that actually
like
looks
dunk, like finisher dunk.
I mean, basically just like kind of like slam it into the ground, and it's like a little bomb. So you're like you have a gun that kills things that makes little bombs from like their little black hole. You know, you made the little singularity, run around, throw the singularity, kill somebody, or dunk. He slammed it on the ground. I don't know if you have to slam or throw. That one looks really cool. That'll be a quest. So we have 2 exotic quests potentially. I know of the other one that hasn't been teased, but it's been data mined, so there are 2. But again, we also have the idea that planets are going to start to go away. How are they going to play those out? Is it going to be the final week where like, hey, everybody get off of these planets. We got to go save Sloan and Vance and
I heard things.
Yeah.
I don't know if you. This is what I know, but I'm not going to spoil it. But
is there something related to evacuation?
Ding, 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 ding. So you've heard things too.
I've heard things. So the idea is at some point, potentially these planets where we're not going to have in the fall, get the hell out.
Yeah.
So that's got to transpire. I don't know if it's like, last few weeks it starts trickling off one by one. All the insanity happens. You got to go at least do each quest to see a little.
Right.
So it seems like there's potential towards the end of the season for big stuff to happen. Yeah. Couple exotic quests in the middle, and then it seems like this is your time to start checking every box because we're going to have moments of triumph and solstice of heroes, which could be fun if they don't screw the armor up. Like the year 3, the year 3. If you go year 4,
messed it up.
The funny thing is, I still have my warlock armor package of solstice still.
Me too. I couldn't.
I couldn't never pick it up.
For that grind, I was like, oh, you still have the thing? Oh wow.
I haven't sitting at the gunsmith.
Wow, are you serious? What is that about?
No, I'm like, I haven't picked it up yet. Maybe I'll see if I can keep that.
Why no desire to pick it up?
Hey, if I picked it up now, at least it'd be higher light.
That's interesting that you just. Were you disgusted?
I got the Titan one.
Into the mindset.
I got the Titan one, and then I basically just was like, I'm not going to infuse every single thing. So it's like, for whatever reason, I'm just like, I can pick this up whenever, but I've just had I have no reason to pick it up, I guess. So
interesting. Not even just stash it in the stash. So, but does he have like a
gunsmith
permanent...
has like, he just has the little permanent package sitting there.
What is going on? Why are you boycotting this?
I haven't for like my Titan. I just haven't ever picked it. I mostly play my Titan. Honestly, I looked at my playtime. It's like 1,000 on my Titan hours, like 500 on the Warlock. The Hunter's like 150. My Hunter is so neglected.
I get it. It's just interesting. I was like, I've never seen you like leave something just not to be picked up.
It's like I just see it and I'm like, I could pick it up, but what's the point? Usually it's more just like I have nowhere to put it half the time when I get there. So I've finally been cleaning up vault stuff.
Issue.
Yeah.
So now the truth comes out.
I mean, that's everybody who watches this knows it's an issue. It's fine.
Yes, the hoarder. Be like the old cat lady, bro. What's going on with you?
Hey, if anything, I have dogs. I'm not a cat person. Gotta respect at least it's dogs and not cats. Come on. Sorry if you like cats. If you like cats, totally have fun. I have friends that do, but I'm a dog person.
With the cat profile pic, she got that.
Okay, big difference. House cat, meow. Cheetah, meow.
Let that rock. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a cheetah could kick the crap out of most dogs too.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Nothing will catch it, and when it gets there, it's still a African cat that can kick the crap out of most things. So yeah, no.
Kevin's funny. Just having fun with it. Just gotta have fun. You already know.
I know.
But yeah, man.
So it's like it's weird. We have so we've seen the 3. The end potentially could be crazy. The middle is. It's not gonna be. It doesn't. If it's anything like this week, I will say. This week was pretty light. We're like, hey, are we getting Titan? No, we didn't. We got the one story, and then you're like, It's kind of, this is the main. I mean, this is the summer maintenance.
Are we disgusted?
I'm
Are
not.
we
No,
not
no, no.
impressed?
I'm not disgust. Don't put words
Are
in
we
my
not
mouth.
entertained?
Don't put words in my mouth.
Are you saying this is mundane content? Is this what we're implying?
I'm saying
wasn't-
this
you
is
don't
the
seem
calm
impressed.
before September. You wanted to, honestly, I'm completely fine with it because I want to play Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding. I don't know if I'll get to Origami King on Paper Mario. Seems fun though. Like, there's enough games that I'm like, if the summer's lighter,
This ain't that light, bro. Like, you are, let's just say you are blazing. Let's just say that. This is not that light.
and I'm
I've
not
been
saying there's not
fairly
stuff that I need to
consistent.
do. It's like if I tried to raid and do Anarchy like 3 characters like each week, and if I was going to do other things, there's stuff that I could be doing. I'm just saying for new stuff, like this week, I guess just kind of hit because it was just like I saw Tassie's video, and then I saw the one story, and I was like, we don't have a new planet yet. So I was like, it's kind of, I'm not saying it hasn't been fun. Contact. Honestly, it's a hell of a fun public event. I really enjoy it. Like, it's probably one of the best, I think, public events because Gambit gives a little bit of fun. Please pick up the triangles. Please.
yeah. Dudes don't be picking up the triangles for that.
It's like people are avoiding them like they're going to get sick. Like, go pick up the triangles.
Pick up
like,
the triangles. Facts.
Not that hard. But I like how it's got the mechanics of like, hey, you got the blooms with the little champion guy off the side. You've got the Taken come in. You got to open the bank back. Like, oddly, somehow it actually is probably, I mean, yeah, I think Dano says it. 12 weeks from now, maybe less fun. But I will say, like, I've done it a few weeks in a row and I haven't burned it out too hard. I haven't just like grinded Contact for hours.
Right.
But generally, the times that I do need to go through the couple times to get the weekly quest done and stuff like that, it's been fun.
Okay.
And I think it's like, it's got a good mix of mechanics and ads. But we're not throwing balls, thank God.
Yes, yeah, that was annoying.
Yeah, so I think that's been good. The story missions have been awesome. Like all 3, shout out, because they basically just made 3 whole story missions for a season.
Dude, for a season.
Dude, I know. That's why I'm like, I'm not saying it's not, all of this stuff is quality stuff. And it's like, and we're going to be, but it's like when you do them for the 4th rotation come 12 weeks, like 9 or 10 weeks from now.
Okay, so you're worried about down the road if this exact pattern stays the same.
If it is like, okay, so we'll go 3 weeks on Titan, contact, and we'll do the same 3 story missions again, just different words from Eris. 3 here, 3
Just
here.
different
It's that
words
it's,
from Eris.
and again, for a season, some people may play sporadically here, not see everything, and it honestly is probably a good amount of stuff for a lot of people who don't get to play that often. For those, you, me, who burn stuff a little faster, we'll see it a little more frequently, so it may feel a bit repetitive. But for the casual player, dude, this is a hell of a great season.
Yeah,
the Prismatic Recaster, I will say the Prismatic Recaster, currency-wise, is really stingy, though. As much time as you can put in, there is no way to make that go faster. And those are some of the,
that is specific. That's specifically locked. Based on the amount of that
and it's
material.
like so hard. It's the 2 weeklies. That's it. And if you have one character, it's gonna take you a long time. It's gonna take you most of the season consistently playing. And that's like, I mean, I think Tassie said he did it in 3 weeks with 3 characters, so it was like 18 to get enough for it. So it's like it's gonna take you like 9 weeks if you got one character to go through. So it's like it's not gonna be a short process.
Right. That's a fact. I mean, we do have to see if they, besides the weekly, if they introduce any other way to get that material. I forgot what it's called, altered something. I forgot what it's called. But he said artificial game. I see what you're saying, New Rat. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely artificial game extension. There's no question. It's definitely a time gate because at the end of the day, it's like you can only get this certain amount of thing. And again, unfortunately, that is the nature of seasonal content. You know what I'm saying? They have to keep you coming back week to week. It's not going to be monstrous. All I'm saying is, we just came out of Season of the Worthy.
Oh, I'm night and day, dude. I'm not arguing that.
I don't want to hear no lip chat. We just came off the worst. This is refreshing that I'm getting to do something that at least is meaningful, that has some story beats, and it's actually enjoyable to play. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Like, is it God's gift to the. No, I'm not going there. But it's definitely a better version of the seasonal model so far. It's kind of where I'm getting at. So we'll see.
And the
got a
end could blow my.
dungeon.
I know.
Dungeon.
I know.
Cool dungeon.
It's
I haven't
going.
done yet.
It's going.
That I'm
Right.
here.
You haven't touched it at all.
Shout out to Josh. I'm calling out my editor in chief for Lords Gaming. That name. Shout out to Josh Redding, aka Ancient of Frost, aka Scimitar Prime. Oh, I'm calling you out, bro. I am being a real friend. I want to play this prophecy dungeon so bad, and this man is begged me to do this dungeon with him for the first time, so we can go in blind, and I'll get it third, most likely Sinister or Ares, and then I'll do it. Because I am hearing this thing is like I'm getting mad. I'll watch Kakis videos and I see him has footage in the back.
And you're like, close.
I gotta stop watching your video, man. I'm like, this looks mad fun. I'm supposed to be doing this. So yeah, I got it. Looks gorgeous. I love the Steve. Question though, someone brought this to my attention. I want to know how you feel. Someone said to me, I'm disgusted that the prophecy dungeon starting location is in the tower, as opposed to its own location on the map. How do you feel about
There's a reason it's there.
that? Okay.
I was like, that's literally why. One, it's free for everyone, so it's in a place everyone has access to. And there's a reason it's in the tower. This isn't spoiling anything. You interacted with it because of the drifter.
Said person is in the chat. Said person just shout out to Hands. Hands are good. I was gonna call you out, but you jumped in. Actual Hands Gretel. What's up, bro? He said, I'll do it with your fam. I'll just beat my mic. Yeah, it was you. It was you. He was beefing with me because shout out to Hands. He's new to our Iron Law podcast clip.
Oh.
So he goes, yo, he literally takes his hunter, right? We're in, what's that the annex? Mm-hmm. He's like, Carl, I want to show you something. So he's like, if you look at the position of the thing, of the prophecy of the map, it should be here. And he's like hopping, he's climbing, scaling things.
I did it too. Like, I know. And it's just on the director screen.
Then he's like, it's supposed to be here. I don't understand. He was really disgusted by this.
So, okay.
Yeah, we follow him.
I understand the story interaction, but I will also tell you, having to go to Shattered Throne manually.
Yeah.
In the Harbinger Seclude or wherever the hell that thing's located through a portal, or director, go. If I want to play an activity, it's fine. Now, if the first time you had to go to the dungeon, you had to go roam through the back of the Drifters area and see like an area and you enter it the first time, maybe. But from that point forward, director. Same thing with the forges. No one wants to drive to a forge every time.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was annoying. Remember that?
Same idea. Yeah. Nobody wants to specific. If you want to play an activity, go launch it from orbit. Because if you have a fire team, everybody walk down. Everybody ready? Then you got to try and load into a tower, which takes long enough as it is. So it's I understand the gameplay design reasons why it's a director node in the tower.
Okay. So my question is, does it, without spoiling, is it tied in nice when you start it?
You'll know why it's where it is.
Okay, cool. That's all. That's all
I'm going to say. You'll know why it is where it is.
It's going down this week. My shout out to Ancient of Frost, Josh Redden, bro. Happening. You better be there on Saturday because I'm doing this raid. If you're not there, not because I'm tired of waiting. I want to play and I need a pinnacle. I'm missing out on pinnacles every week because of you. Salute to this.
Well, go do Pit of Heresy. You still get, at least if you need armor, go do Pit of Heresy.
Oh yeah, I've been doing.
Because that's a guarantee.
I've been doing Pit a lot.
It bugs the living hell out of me that those stat rolls still suck ass. Sorry, language. We're an hour in, so. No.
And I'm getting mad. You know, they keep giving me the damn class item.
Dude, I got four in a row from my pinnacles. In a
row. I'm disgusted. I'm like, can I say something besides the damn? And then what's pissing me off isn't it the 1260? I mean, isn't it that joint's
it's
not
a plus 2 pinnacle.
No, but I meant the power level.
Oh yeah, that's not high.
Pet's going because that's Shadow Keep, right? And Shadow Keep is
Shadow Keep, not Garden. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is weird. I guess they'll do it specifically. Garden of Salvation has the Shadow Keep emblem on it. Garden gear, like Garden of Salvation gear, doesn't have a different icon than Shadow Keep. But if you get like Blasphemer, that's not coming forward. But if you get any raid weapon that I can't think of from Garden of Salvation, for example, those are. So the raid stuff is coming forward. It's going to season 14. I think is the number I saw. It's in a TWAB somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. And the thing is with Leviathan, just to clarify that I'm doing it, the armor is going forward, right?
No,
Not.
Leviathan's not. Nothing in Leviathan comes forward.
I thought raid armor.
Last Wish and Garden only.
Really? Why did I think I misread that? Why did I?
Leviathan's leaving. Why would they keep that?
I just thought the armor for the aesthetic piece. I think that was
the armor. You may be able to turn that into universal
armor.
Ornaments. You may be able to do something with that, but no, you're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to go light level infused.
Is going. Chat, can we confirm?
It's not all raid armor. It is Last Wish and Garden. That's been stated real clear at one of those bullet points
too. So basically, all the other raid armor is not going forward. Is what you said.
Correct. Which is why most people tend to think there's going to be 3 raids: Last Wish, Garden, and Deepstone Crypt. Probably is whatever it's called. And then, so he says the helmet reading is stop at 1060. So,
yeah, he's right about the power level. Yeah, he's right about.
So that's what I mean. It's not going any farther. So
okay.
Now, Last Wish and Garden had a little bug where I think that light level was showing wrong, but that will be going forward.
Right.
So season 14, they clarified that one, but the other raids are all going.
Right, but
man.
Here's my thing. I got no problem with them going, but raid armor is unique. Make that an ornament. Something.
Well, that's
make that.
If you want it or work on earning it right now, and then you hopefully can turn it into universal ornaments with whatever they do in the fall. That's the goal there.
That's literally what I'm doing.
So again,
I
vault
go for
space.
Leviathan's armor looks hot. What you said?
Oh, just vault space. It's going to be rough going in.
Oh yeah. Crystal says Luke said they're going to reissue it before they leave.
Reissue what?
Yeah, be clear, Crystal. We got to make sure. Transmog, facts, Black Wings, Transmog, yes, I agree. Whiskey just kicking the shit when you get a 60+ stat armor for a hunter from the caster that has a 10+ strength stat. Facts.
Yeah, there's some questionable rolls. The raid armor you get like a 20 in strength. I haven't seen that.
We need confirmation, y'all. I need confirmation because
they may bring Leviathan back at some point and do it that way, or I don't know. Yeah. Can I bring your Vault of Glass armor for? No. Mostly, no. That ain't happening. Sorry.
But anyway, that's
what I got. We're in this so I mean, we do have stuff. Well, the only 2 things we know on the damn director are, Solstice of Heroes and Moments of Triumph.
Right.
Which Moments is just going to be how many boxes have you checked and how many more do you need to check?
Right.
Probably when that launches is when, if it's like, hey, Moments of Triumph, go do everything. I really hope there's not a flawless because I'm screwed if there is.
Yeah.
Because I have never.
What did Glenn say? We need to
know
transmog. We need to have that armor in collection or I agree.
Yeah. I agree. And that's kind of, there's quite a few questions when it comes to the fall. There's a lot of things people want answers to. How transmog is going to work. Is it something like, I have the piece of armor, I do said task, I get 1 consumable, like, okay, use it on this, and I turn it into an ornament forever. Like, we don't know how that's going to work. Or is it just like, as you said, can you go into the collections and be like, there's an option, you have this 1 currency, hold down this if you want to use currency to make ornament. Like, that clarification, I totally agree. We would be better clarity. To have that information.
We definitely need clarity. That's a fact.
Yep. So I just was kind of like, I've enjoyed the season so far. I've been distracted with The Last of Us and trying to go between, and my air conditioner being, a rough, having a couple rough days there. Yeah. Salute to the AC. It's back keeping it cool.
Salute to Texas heat.
Yeah. If I didn't have AC in here, I'd just be like, sweating in here. It'd just be bad. So it's just kind of, I don't know what else is. I know the season has potential to end really well.
You ungrateful person. Ungrateful. This man just came off the work and has the nerve, the audacity to already
It's your facial expression. I know not to take you seriously, so it's fine. I know you're full of it with that expression. So it's not like a serious talk. This is just him giving me a hard time, guys.
Nerve of you. Do you not know what you just came from, Ebontis? Do you not realize the suffering you went through? And already, after Bungie done blessed you with this great grind, and here you are, looking down the road, ready to complain. Nerve.
You can't even finish it without laughing, man. Come on.
Because I love it.
You can't get through it. Yes.
I can't believe
No.
him.
I was like, I will say, like, public event, yeah, we got one, but honestly, it's probably one of my favorites. Story missions, we got 3 of them. Yeah, we may see them in the loop, but I've still enjoyed them all. If you do them solo, they're a bit of a challenge. They're cool. Enjoyed all 3.
What the Traveler's doing?
The Eris pieces. What?
So that gem Eris dropped about the Traveler? You know what I'm saying? Hit that little gem, man. She was about the how like feel like the Traveler is the darkness is saying like the Traveler is shielding us.
Yeah.
And we're supposed
that was the
to
eggshell one,
outgrow
right?
it. Yeah, bro. She's dropping knowledge, bitch. We getting lore.
Well,
he would be appreciated.
Well, that's the point of where it's interesting because Savathun is 2021. We know the Witch Queen is then, but we're getting Savathun's eyes of
Savathun. The eyes, the dude. Everywhere you go around the map, you got the little. She's watching.
So there's like 50 of them apparently, and there's like lists out there. My guess is the ruinous effigy because it actually can black hole those things. Is how they're going to actually get killed. So we probably have to do that quest and then run around and pick up all of those. Is my guess. I could be wrong.
You think it's going to be like a Wish Ender situation where we got to pop them? We got to go around, pop them, get something? Remember how Wish Ender had the the crystals?
Kevin got it.
What happened?
Yep.
What happened? He
said, additionally, all armor from all other Destination 2 raids will be updated retroactively with the Season of Arrival's watermark, and will have a Season 14 max power level. That I haven't seen. I did not know that one. I didn't know.
Salute Kevin.
I must have missed it.
It's all good. But now I remember because I was like, that's why I was like, why am I doing Leviathan? And then I remember reading like, yeah, I get it because I like that. The Leviathan set, at least the Warlock. Ooh, that's clean, bro. That's clean. The little helmet, the white, the gold, and then I got my
Of
Callus
course, it's got
shader.
gold. Put a little red shader on your gold, and you're set again. You're just New Monarchy all over again.
No. I'm talking about the white, gold, and purple.
I know. I'm just saying the white, gold, and purple. If you get a little red shader on those armors, then
you're right.
Yep. So apparently, everybody needs to raid constantly, all the time. Fill up your vault with armor. Don't care about your weapons. Delete them all.
No. Rest in peace, Forte. Forte's in there. He said, we just had this talk. He just cleaned out or deleted all his raid.
And this is the stuff for some people. No, this honestly is a prime example of why some of this stuff, like the average person, and I'm going to go 80-20. There might be 20% of you that follow Bungie on Twitter, that watch podcasts like this, that watch YouTube videos. Right. Most people
don't.
Like, most people, my brother's kids, for example, they just play. They have no idea what works, depending. They don't know what is honestly going to stay around. So it's like, hey, is this raid cool? Maybe. I was even misinformed there for a minute.
Yeah.
So
we're in the know. Yeah.
I don't know if there's I know if you're into a game, it's probably good if you follow stuff, but also some of these things, like Bungie hasn't been that they've put the raid stuff out there and things, but it's not that clear everywhere.
Right. No,
just for we're aware because we're neck deep in this stuff, but for the casual person, it's like, hey, there's this thing, sunset is coming, here's this weapon value, this is how long it's going to last. For the average person, just probably logged into the season and be like, oh, those numbers are new. Well, those are different. What do those mean? And if you don't go search it out, the game doesn't tell you.
Right. No, that's a fact. In the defense, the only thing I would say is that I think we're going to get all of that right before the September pre-hype, you know what I'm saying, kind of thing. They're going to do the rollouts. I think, there's that period. This is what a fun part of Destiny. This is what I love doing this show.
But it's like, if they do it just before it starts rolling out, is that too little too late?
For information on what's going to come forward?
Yeah, for what's going to come forward, how sunsetting works, the information for the casual person, that. More just they'll have tool pop-ups and stuff like that and be like, what if you hovered over Infusion, or if you logged into the game, or if there was just a section of some pointers for hey, explanation of just.
Oh yeah, we know that they're terrible with that.
Yeah, there's just some more in-game communication about.
I agree.
Literally some of this stuff to say, hey, all raid armor is going to be this.
Yeah, you're talking in-game. Yeah.
In-game communication. That's I guess why I'm asking.
That's always been their Achilles heel. They they don't do a good job of the new player I call it onboarding. Like they don't do a good job. Even when you start, and people have, oh, bro, like, yeah, shout out to New Light, like not telling you nothing. Like there's just so many people to talk to. Who did we have on that said that? Was it Jarv?
It was Jarv. I think Jarv was talking about New Light because I think I've never done it, but I think he actually made a separate account to go through and experience it. It's like, dude, it's just you log in, then
talk to everybody. That's what he said. Yeah,
talk to everybody, go do everything. You're like, what do I do?
What do I do next? And that's the question. There's not that consistency. Now, I did remember, I think maybe 2 twabs ago, or right around what is it, the Dawn joint, the Beyond Light joint. They said they recognized it and they're working on something better for. I believe it was Luke that said it. Something better for new players come September, because they just got to improve it. They got to improve, man.
Well, I mean, the other piece is like the Red War campaign. You're losing like 2 of the planets involved in the Red War campaign. Basically, all of year 1, they're just going taking it. They're literally picking up and taking that out of the game. So you got Curse gone, Warmind gone, Red War gone. Those campaigns won't be there.
Right.
And they actually kind of stated they're going, a little bit back to the Stranger story. So you have the opening mission with the Cosmodrome that they do now. Yeah. Cosmodrome's going to be coming back first for just New Light players in the fall. So they're going to do another push for like, hey, you want to try Destiny free? Now, if you come back, it's going to be Cosmodrome, Stranger, a little bit there. Then you kind of get into it because now the Stranger's tied into the story. So they're actually connecting the start of D1 to where we are in D2 6 years later? 7? However many, what number that is? Into the 7th year. So they are supposed to make that kind of a different feel of New Light because they're literally taking that first year of D2 out.
Right. Facts.
Which is weird.
No doubt.
Because honestly, I will say that second mission in Red War, just the slow,
really good.
dramatic music
dramatic, and the walking.
And you're just like, your light's gone, you're walking slow.
That's great.
That's great. Literally, the weight of the world is like, it's so, it was a cool feeling mission. I was like that.
Absolutely. Well done. It was a good campaign. Once we complained about vanilla D2, one thing we got to say, the Gaul story missions were cool. I thought that whole leading up was really, really cool. I enjoyed it. And you had your little cutscene. You had him and the little, what's his face? I forgot the guy's name. The little consort guy that he ends up killing, Gaul.
Oh,
remember Gaul? I love the. It felt like vintage. It felt like vintage Bungie from the Halo days when you would play a stage, then you would get this background cinema maybe of what the enemy's doing, right? And I just loved it. It transitioned out. And then we killed the speaker, so I was all about that. That's my Osiris hate kicking in right there. I said, sorry, I got to throw the jab. Damn, false prophet. But anyway, there you go.
Well, and then Dakota had a good point. What's going to be free? Because they're getting rid of the free stuff right now.
Good point. Free 99. What's new Light?
Yeah, because I mean, you could go do year 1 raids. You could go to there's a lot of story missions.
They saying Forsaken. I don't know.
That's a lot. Probably it's got to be Forsaken.
Think Forsaken's time?
Because I mean, Tangled Shore and Dreaming City still there. That's that whole campaign.
And that's a pretty big space.
Well encompassed story. That's a pretty good story in and of itself.
Do you think that's New Light? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be.
It's got it because I mean, Red year 1 that's out. So you've got Shadowkeep. You've got Forsaken as your main 2. Obviously, the new stuff's going to be separate. But yeah, it's like they got to give that New Light, because New Light was big. They don't want to shrink that too small. And Forsaken is going to be, again, Forsaken was year 2. You've had Forsaken for 2 years. So again, people are like, oh no, why are you giving it for free? Because it's 2 years old. So time-wise, it fits. They're still selling
Dakota
Forsaken.
Says she can't see it.
It probably will be free in the fall.
It's a good guess.
Think. I mean, I have to assume that because the New Light, the free entrance experience is something Bungie has put a lot of time into making sure it was a thing. And I don't think that's something they're just going to completely remove. Now, maybe it's just a different experience. Go do some strikes, go do some Crucible. Here's Gambit. Here's a quick basic couple of story missions and then go. But
I doubt they do that because remember the whole creation of New Light, their explanation was they don't want, Guardians to feel so separated. So I don't know. Maybe they do base campaign. Did they when Shadowkeep?
What's the
dropped,
campaign?
Let's revisit.
That's the question.
Yeah. Wait. Let's question. When Shadowkeep dropped for New Light, were they able to do Shadowkeep missions?
No. They could
No,
land on the
right.
moon. They could land
Right.
on the Dreaming City and go interact with the NPC and do patrols.
Right.
Lost
right.
sectors,
They could
public
go
events,
to the environment,
but you
right,
could
but
not
they couldn't do anything.
quest. You
Yeah.
couldn't do story. You were just
You couldn't do story. Right.
hanging out.
Yeah. Yes. F. Kyle. Yeah. Menagerie's out.
Yep, Menagerie's
Yeah,
gone.
that's out. Yeah, that's gone. Yeah, I guess. It makes sense then because, maybe it's Forsaken's up as the base. I guess. Interesting. They got to give them meaty stuff though. They can't not give them, anything for being free.
Yeah, it's like now for story, it'd be like you need some transition, and this is where it would be weird because you go Cosmodrome, you're a guardian, get your stuff, fly out of here to the tower. Cool,
Right.
tower. Okay, from here, if you go here
Mhm.
to Forsaken and Cade dies, there's a weird there's needs a buffer zone in there somewhere.
Yeah,
They need like
it needs
a couple
be-
missions, maybe I don't know. Maybe you
Or
go
they could
to
do like a recap. They could do like a recap kind of
maybe maybe it's a recap video or storyboard
like a
thing.
recap video. Yeah, storyboard. Of where we are in this current thing, and then they could do it maybe onboard them that way.
Forges, I wouldn't picture them staying.
They didn't mention them going.
They
though.
haven't mentioned them, and I
Curiously.
know they're all on one
Curiously.
EDZ director because they could stay. But if Scourge goes,
Mhm.
I could see
Yeah,
them
right.
going because again, it's
Yeah, it makes
thematically
sense.
gone.
Right.
Because they
They got
said
a lot of
the
questions.
raids that will stay, there will be 3 raids available in the fall. They did say that.
Mhm. Yep.
Last
New
Wish
raid,
Garden
which is
and New Guy. So
deep
Crown,
Deep Stone
Scourge,
Crypt.
Leviathan.
The raid is
all gone.
what is it? Where the Exos were made. The new raid.
Yeah.
Gonna be what you call
Deep Stone Crypt.
Mhm.
Yep.
A lot of lore behind that. I'm very interested with that.
That'll be very
And
cool.
we know. And then we got what?
It has a
Reissues?
total different look to it, and a little bit like the little teaser trait looks like nothing else. Like
nothing else.
looks so cool in there. Very,
Mhm.
very future-y, but like I don't even know how to describe it. It looks really cool.
Yeah, Gambit getting one activity. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot of changes. September's gonna be a lot of changes on the back end.
Yeah,
Big time.
I will be.
Mhm.
I will be curious. Was Gambit Prime goes? Does Reckoning go?
Maybe. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm gonna say no, only because maybe they tie in and do a new armor set.
Or maybe
Gambit-
that. Or maybe it's some like refresh because the Drifters part of this coming
The
year.
drift is part of the yeah.
So maybe it's like new Gambit, perfected and Reckoning. Maybe they do a revamp of it without trying to kill you from every angle on a
Yeah.
bridge. Don't know. But
Yeah.
again, we all have a lot of questions about, we know what stuff's going planet wise. We don't know
Right.
every single activity that's leaving yet. And I don't think they've stated that. They may not know.
Mhm.
They may not have decided completely, or they're just not ready to tell us. I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
think
they
they're just not
know.
ready to tell us.
I feel
They
like we
know.
just don't
They
know.
not ready. Yeah, we don't know. They keeping us in the dark. That's a fact. Mm-hmm.
And the
What
travel
else we
looks
got?
totally fixed in the new director.
Mhm.
Huh. Well, we've definitely gone off on a bit of a tangent, I would say.
Yes, I believe so.
I don't even
I think
know
so.
where we're supposed to be at currently.
We're
in the
supposed to
world
be
of-
probably Banner, what's coming. I don't think we touched that. And
So yes, we do have Iron Banner and Bonus Valor starting next week. That'll be Tuesday through June 30th through July 7th in the morning. So we've got a couple things. We've got, and this is where that discussion came up actually. We'll be adding 2 reprised weapons, curating the weapon reward loot pool down to 8 weapons. So you've got the Forward Path and Fool's Remedy.
yeah.
All weapons listed below are considered reissued and will have season of arrival max infusion caps. Shining Sphere, Swarm of the Raven, Talons of the Eagle, Bite of the Fox,
That's a good one.
Orwing's Maul, Carmelia's Dagger. Forward Path and Fool's Remedy will also be updated to have 2 additional perks specific to those specific Iron Banner weapons. You've got Iron Grip, improved stability at a cost of reload speed, which that one seems like the better of the 2. Iron Gaze improves weapon target acquisition at the cost of range. Armor set, not a bad one coming back. Kind of a not a bad look to it. So I don't know if I'll grind that one out, but we'll see. And of course, an emblem. They did want to remind skill-based matchmaking has been disabled for Iron Banner.
Yes,
so it is pure connection and light level.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
I will be curious how this one feels. Because now you got light level engaged and connection based. I'm going to be sitting there with like 4 kills and somebody's going to have 82.
It's going to be interesting. Crucible feels different. I don't know if you ever get a chance to be in it. It feels a little different, man.
A little bit.
I'm just curious as to why out of Banner. Why remove it from Banner? I'm very curious on that. Because isn't Banner supposed to be the pinnacle activity? And, it's kind of like our, say, Trials Light, so to speak, for power level and stuff. So, and then they only say this season. So it's like, why? I don't understand the thought process behind that. Yeah, Crucible feel different, bro. Like, you getting smacked, you know what I'm saying? Or you're smacking. It's very extreme. Like, it's...
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, and the other question that this all brings up.
Yeah.
Storm of the Raven.
Oh, yeah, let's get it.
Or getting reissues.
Let's talk about it.
And this was my, I'm totally about the sunsetting. Till you see this. And if we're getting I have a Swarm of the Raven. I literally looked. I have a Spike Field Prep Swarm of the Raven. Now, Swarm is turned into a Rapid Fire, so it got changed, so it's not quite as good. But still, I have a Spike Field Prep Ambitious Assassin. Probably not perfect last perk, but still pretty solid. And now we're going to get the newer version.
Ooh, let's talk about it. Because I was
like, you're probably reading my tone, but you go first, man.
Yeah, so team not wanting to reissue was me, you know what I'm saying? But I conceded legendaries. Said, you know what? Freshen up the loot pool. Get some new blood in there. All right, fine. And then I figured this would be a way if things were broken. Looking at you, Mountain Top. That they could get it out. But then I see this. And actually, even before this, shout out to when you're playing. And, I'm gonna tell you right now, my favorite scout in the game, one of my favorite PvE weapons, good way, is Night Watch. Night Watch Scout, rapid hit, multi-kill clip. That's my baby.
I have that one too.
Baby, that's my baby. Massive
but it's older.
Yeah.
Yours too?
Did I happen to play? No, I got the new one too. I got the exact same.
Oh,
so
you suck.
But yeah, I lucked out. And then I happened to play it. I'm like, oh, what's this? It's Night Watch again with a new new little icon and no new perks. So I'm like, all right, it's the same gun that I grinded for. That now you gonna make me go re-earn with nothing new about it. Bungie, we gotta talk, fam. We gotta talk. What is this?
Yep.
What is it? The whole purpose of this was to freshen up the loot pool. Now I get it with 1 or 2. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let you slide. Night Watch, I see you. A couple other ones, I see you. All right, you reissue, got a little new icon. Okay, I don't like it, but I see you. And we get this.
Yeah,
it's like,
a full slew of Iron Banner, and you're like,
Raven's back.
Cremilli's Dagger. Like
yeah.
I have a crap load that I probably haven't even got of Orwing's Maul. See how many I've got.
Yeah. Oh, bruh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Mm-hmm.
Way too many already. Not arguing that. But somewhere in there, probably have an auto-loading holster.
Oh, yeah.
Field prep, demo, whatever reasonable combo. I've got a quick draw. I've got options. What?
Yeah, remember that god roll we used to farm for Swarm of the Raven when Swarm of the Raven was the thing?
When it was the thing. Yeah, it was Spike. Yeah, Spike. Yeah. So it's like, I'm looking over Talons of the Eagle. That's like, it's a scout rifle. And I'm like, I don't even care about it. But
Talons, Talons is a scout. You're right.
But what do I have? I have Outlaw Rampage and I have Moving Target Zen Moment with like basically max range on it. So I'm like, I got a PvE, I got a PvP roll. And we're here looking at mine not carrying forward. And I'm going to look at another loot pool of the exact same weapon. Or I got to go in a shorter amount of time in 1 week, not over the course of years, to try and get said role that I've already got.
Yeah,
And this is a problem. Like,
it's a problem.
Weapon sunsetting, if you take it out and we're like, hey, reissue a bunch, like not reissue, but introduce a bunch of newer weapons. Like, we got 6 new weapons this season. And again, the fall may be telling. This may be the Band-Aid buffer season. But if this is a telling sign of things to come, it's an issue.
That's an issue. It's an issue, yeah. You can't do that. You can't tell the base that this is why we're doing it. We got to get rid of it. We're going to issue power creep. That's what we heard. Power creep. This is why it has to change. I know y'all not going to like this. And then you're slipping this in, and I'm just like, this is not it. This is not going to go well. Shout out to Paul Tassi, who I know me and him went at it a little bit on the sunsetted thing, but I conceded, you know what I'm saying? And he's finally given it up. He's like, no, I agree. Like, this was his fear. Because the people who are on this side, our biggest fear was stuff like this. How is Bungie going to handle it? It's the execution.
Yep.
And right now we're between seasons, but you cannot, again, time investment, respect the players' time. We've all grinded out these weapons, farmed these weapons for perfect roles to get it again. And then on top, what makes it bad, is you're not giving new perks. At least if they were different perks that could be acquired. Now, I know Forward Path and that sidearm are getting Iron Gaze or whatever this new thing. Okay, great. You know what I'm saying?
You're like, but 2 perks, and I only want one of the new perks.
One of them, exactly.
Because one's minus like 40 range. It's a huge dump on range, and or minus 20 range plus 40 target. Either way, but I'm like, and it's on an auto rifle where range is large. So no, this is, and this again, like who said it? Oh my darling, they need to do a weapon showcase for the fall if they want to dispel fears about sunsetting. And this may have been, again, the Band-Aid of the final season of this content before they do the huge introduction. But right now, you got a lot of people that are unhappy because if you keep doing this, if you're like, hey, we're bringing in 6 weapons and I'm bringing back 12 old ones. And I'm like, no, it cannot outweigh. It's got to be like, I want 12 to 2. I want the flip. I mean, fall has to be huge. Fall has to be like,
that's what
I need like 30, 40. I need a crap ton of weapons coming in the fall. But seasons you can do like 8 and maybe 2 little ones here. Like Truth Teller coming back. Like that one, you know what? Kind of okay with that. Because I hadn't seen it in a while. That was literally year 1, Nature of the Beast. Like you do a couple of those like that are 3 years old. Fine. They were year 1. They had static rolls. Now we got randoms. That stuff makes sense. A Night Watch that was in Drifter. Bugs me because I haven't got the duplicate roll and mine's already good.
I gotta shout out L Tuck. This is my issue. Should be a way to superimpose your god roll into the seat. If they're gonna be the same, and you got that, they need. I think someone hit up
perk infusion almost. You're talking about,
yeah, bro. You come on, like. You can't just disrespect that. Or, think about all the masterwork cores, man. Think about all that. Bruh, we put work in there. We put time, we put blood, we put pain. Many a nightfall ordeal was done with these weapons. They gotta respect, So yeah, again, the only way they make this right is come September. I better see like a 80% ratio of new stuff, and this represents that 20%. Because this is the only thing I do understand. I do understand archetype stuff. There's gonna be certain archetypes that if you remove everything will be very weak to none, but they gotta handle it right. They gotta show us, because this right here, remixing the same food you gave us, ain't gonna fly, bro.
Yeah, it's and I mean, I think we all came to that point. Exotics, they're big, they're special. At some point, year 6, some of those may need to fall off, but we'll see. But we kind of settled like their stand. Legendaries. Take him out if you're going to bring him in and have this bigger cycle. But if it's just like, if I can go through my collection of weapons and be like, these 12 are coming back, I'm like, what about the ones that I held on to?
Yeah, and now in their defense,
Go ahead. What?
No, I was going to say, in their defense, I did see someone complain, I believe on Twitter, to DMG, and said, bro, you've got to give us a way to impose these roles that we've already had and transform them into the new version, since they're exactly the same. And he gave us the classic line that the team is looking into it, but at least he acknowledged it. You know what I'm saying? That was my thing, because this is a hot button topic, very hot. You know what I'm saying? We grinding out here. And if you're going to do this, especially if you're not introducing new perks, new features to these guns, you have to give us a way to infuse it so we can move that forward instead of regrind. It's a disrespect to the it's a disrespect to the note that says how many kills you have with PvE and PvP.
If
What's
I
the
see a
purpose?
go figure come back, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Oh, you gonna lose it. You gonna lose it, bro.
Be like,
I
hey,
feel
we're
for
bringing
you.
back go figure.
Mhm.
Okay, I literally had a god roll for 40,000 kills. Then I got a slightly better one. It's still tucked with Forsaken on there. But yeah, if there's a go figure that's got a
right.
what would Beyond Light? I wonder what their little icon's going to be for Beyond Light. But yeah, if there's a Beyond Light go figure, desk in the air.
Yeah, bro. But here's the thing too. At least see where they got to pass is remember when they brought Last Hope and Interference and all that back. New perks because now Interference has full court. This, that, right? Last Hope.
That's
you can
the
get
that's
That's what they supposed to be doing. Like, we're supposed to have those. That's what nobody said nothing when Last Hope came back in Interference. Everybody, if you look at it, those two weapons are highly sought after.
Oh yeah, they want
that
feeding frenzy, multi-kill on and then Interference. If you can go full court
spike. That's what I got. I'm like, I'm loving it. Now you've reintroduced this old weapon, but now you've given it a new flavor, and now we're cool with it. Somebody said bring back Edge Transit. I'm done. Yo, I can't with you, Ruko. I cannot. You did not say that, Ruko. You are a fool. You said, where's my Edge Transit at? Actually, Edge Transit might be good. Isn't it adaptive? I don't think it's rapid fire.
Edge is still adaptive.
Yeah.
I have a perfect Edge. So again, that'll piss me off because I've seen 1,000. I narrowed it down to the one that I wanted. But if you have to make me go, so yeah, that I don't know. Said for 80 seconds. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but I sadly expected this when they seem to talk about bringing back. Chat's actually moving fast. Old D1 weapons and content. If they retire my weapon stuff, that's perfectly fine. Do not give me those weapon backs with little to no perk changes, or give me something those terrible Iron Banner perk. Yeah. And that's the thing, too, is what worries me is, and I said this before when I saw the perks for Iron Banner. One's cool. Getting extra stability to have a reload cost. That's an exchange I'm okay with. But if you go target acquisition for a big chunk of range, hold on, I got to go to Light GG to see how big that actually is.
Yeah, it's like 40? 40? I think. I'm going to say like it's a 40. Yeah, it is. Yeah, man. Blackwing shot the Interference. Facts. Like we
minus
love
40 plus 20 aim assist, but minus 40 on range, and it comes on an auto rifle.
Shout out to Prescott. Yeah.
40 and the auto rifle it comes on has 50 range. It's going to take it down to 10.
10.
It's going to be a submachine gun. Yeah. And it's a 600.
I know.
Why? Like at that point I'm going to use a submachine gun cuz it's faster.
Exactly.
So
I don't understand those perks.
And aim assist, like, okay, so it's going to go up to 91 aim assist. It's already got 71. It's not that bad. Like, that trade, I don't want the curated version. You can't explain to me how that's that good.
What's the curated version?
It's got dynamic sway, which is not bad. So you're going to be laser focused. You got dynamic sway, iron gaze, armor piercing, red dot scope. It's an adaptive frame, 600 RPM. But, yeah, it may be dynamic sway, really accurate, which even that got a boost, which people are enjoying. But if you throw Iron Gaze on there, I don't want it. Now, you can get Iron Grip on it, which I'll take. Then it's going to truly be a laser with dynamic sway. But I don't want... It's like one of the perks they introduced, I don't want.
Yep. I got to get... All right, shout out to Prescott for holding them feet to the fire. He said that's what DMG said that would be, and it hasn't happened. I think that's the biggest thing. We're told one thing, and we're seeing another. Preach. And this shout out to Dom. He said, World of Warcraft, I want you to know what you think about this, E, has been around since 2004, has found a way to stream almost 20 years of content while maintaining a 20 gigabyte install. There's legit no excuse for Destiny 2 to be 100 gig plus and taking away combat content just for the sake of making room for more. They gotta figure it out. What you say, E? What you say?
Well, I was going to say the size and textures of this game are going to be a little more detailed than World because it's a higher fidelity. So that's where most of your size comes from, period. When it comes to the size of the game, Call of Duty seems to manage it, but again, I don't know how their patches work, but the way they have to patch Destiny, it's probably actually PlayStation, even being a PlayStation person, the copying file size, there's probably a limit to where like, can't do that stuff anymore. So
Yeah.
there are technical issues for the size thing. They probably wish they didn't have to cross that bridge, but they do.
Yeah.
But also at some point it's weird, and that's why it's like, again, is it an engine? Is it D3? Is it this with the Destiny content vault? But also, do you really want to go play IO? But and this is again where we've all said it, and I agree with like Dom. 2004 to now, however 16 years that it's been going on, Bungie goes and this is what you said, Bungie goes very hard to make weapons feel special. And they have so many of them, it is hard to make new ones stand out or feel unique or at least have a bit of their own personality. So World has so many like boxes of stats. That is a World thing, and I've said it too, and you've said it to me. It is a box of stats. Yeah, like I grinded the hell out of something that it's a cool looking thing in my inventory screen. It has really good things, and I grinded my heart out for it. But it's not as hard to build. It is somebody draws a smaller image, not 3D, and then you pick your stats to make the thing good, and it can be sought after, but they build a 3D model, unique sounds, unique reload animations for it. It has to fit in the archetype pool that they've got already. So this is why if you're taking all of these things out, you need to put new stuff in. But that's where we have to see what their bandwidth is like now, which is the big key. How much capacity does that studio have to make 50 new weapons for the fall? 12 new weapons for each season and not bring that much old stuff back. That's the key that is hard. So
yeah, it's tough. And again, these are my concerns. This was my only negative thing throughout the Beyond Light stuff. When we were told no D3, we sticking with D2. This was my concern. Because at the end of the day, you're still with that 2017 or whatever it was engine that you debuted. And at some point, that engine is going to be archaic. There's limitations to it. That's just the way it is. It's the way gaming works. And that's my only concern, because as gaming gets better, as next generation consoles come out, you know what I'm saying? And systems improve, and we still running around with that Toyota engine. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect to Toyota. But I'm just saying, like,
the Toyota Hilux is still going strong. Dude, it's about to die, but it's still going.
This is why, man. And this is why you have, shout out to someone who said, looks at Bethesda. Crystal, you look at Bethesda games, and they'll have some of the same bugs. If you watch Fallout 76, they have some of the same bugs that exist in every Fallout game because of the engine and the way it's designed. And that's something you cannot get away from. So it's just like, that's my concern. That's why ultimately to me, they saying this now, but ultimately we're going to have to get the D3. Maybe it's just they not ready to talk about it right now because of Scarlet Kid. They gave us the thing. I just can't see how you keep this engine 5 more years. Same engine,
3.
same
I
issue.
mean, 3 at least.
3, right? Because we got what they gave us: Beyond Light. What was the next one? Scarlet Witch,
Witch Queen,
whatever. And then what's the last one?
The Lightfall.
Lightfall. At some point, we got to change the engine for new tires. We got to cop a new car. You can't just be you can't run a car with 200,000 miles on it.
You can't just keep replacing the brakes and the struts and buff out the little scratch in the door, and you got to trade it in. It's seen its miles. Transmission's about shot. The frame is gonna fall apart. Whole lot of car metaphors right now, apparently.
Yeah, a lot of car right now. Yo, Fireball, see what you got against my RAV4 Cognito. Yo, you stupid. I ain't got no beef with your RAV, bro. But it just said, look, if you're running that RAV with 200,000 miles and you're wondering why you're still having issues, then maybe it's time to start looking at the car dealership. Maybe it's time to take a visit and see how the new cars is moving out here. That's all I'm saying, bro. We'll see. But yeah, that's my only concern. I just hope, we don't get hampered too much,
Yeah, I'm hoping this is like, hey, these are a few fan favorites. This is the final season, Moments of Triumph, Solstice of Heroes. Like, all this is just like, this is a celebration of the past years, and they're like throwing everything at you so you can take just more things into the fall. Just the reissues now hurt a little bit. Yeah. And if they're a telling sign of the fall, that truly will... That's a discussion. Like, if I was sitting there doing the Datto thing and this is my little sheet of paper, I'd be like, explain to me why my Night Watch that I have in my vault can't work if I get the new Night Watch that is exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
If there's
All right,
different perks, if it has a different ability, if its stats may feel different, I don't know. But if it's the same thing that I just had to get it again,
Let me
it's
ask
like,
you a question. Jump on jokes aside. What if we boot up Beyond Light, and then when they break the pool down, it's a 50-50 trade for weapons that we've already had already? What would you do? 50%, and then they'd be like, yeah, and if that's not enough, here's the vaulted glass weapons again. Like, what would you do though? I want to know where you at with that.
I'll think on that for a second. But honestly, what do you think about Vault coming back? I mean, are you excited to get Fatebringer again?
I'm the wrong person. I'm biased. I'm too biased. I cannot give you an objective answer. I am completely clouded by what does Gaming Forte says. I live in what's that word he always uses when I talk about Vault? Rose-colored glasses.
Yeah,
and it's not
nostalgia,
as good. Like,
rose-colored.
Yeah, nostalgia. I'm the wrong. Listen, I am all about Vault. Vault is a nostalgic piece for me. We know how I feel about its ranking in the hierarchy, the pantheon of rage. You know how I feel. And Vault has some crazy weapons. Crazy weapons. Like, if Fatebringer comes back, I'll tell you this. They're going to get sales off on nostalgia alone. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure they will.
Yeah. Just for that, just for Fatebringer, just for, we didn't even talk about it. Big Fusion Boy. What's my man's?
God, it's been too long.
Yeah. What? Come on, chat, help me out. Big Fusion. From Vault.
Okay,
Big
remember.
one. Damn, why am I blanking on this game?
I mean, are you saying Vex Mythiclast or?
Vex Mythiclast.
I didn't know if you meant exotic or legendary. I didn't know if you meant
exotic. Yeah, Mythic. Thank you, Gashti. Thank you. Bruh. They got that. You know, I will say this. I do like the idea of this raid remix, one per season. If it thematically
probably per
fits,
year, by the way.
Per year. Excuse me, per year. That's right. If it fits, because I ain't gonna front. I think a great marketing tool is what is it? I always keep calling it Scarlet Witch. What is it again?
Witch Queen.
Witch Queen. Why do I keep saying Scarlet? I don't know what's so wrong with me.
I mean, we're in
Witch
Scarlet Keep is what you're thinking.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's Scarlet Keep that key. So Witch Queen expansion. You can't tell me, E. They throw that and you see that Taken King, the Taken King's back.
No, I've already called that.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying Dreadnought is the rehash destination because we get a new one, but I could also see them expanding the game with an old one. So if they repaint Dreadnought and bring back Taken King, perfect. And it makes sense because it's related to Taken, Oryx, Savathun,
they're gonna be like
ties.
I'm
already expecting that one.
It's going down.
Just straight up, yeah.
Yeah, you had the new threat with Savathun.
Now,
but before
I do hope the weapons that come from that. I do hope the weapons that come from there, that auto rifle better get massively better. That hand cannon sucked so bad.
Oh, it's terrible. All of Taken King weapons. I told you Taken King weapons.
You got machine gun,
were not good.
And you had the sniper that I liked. Those two felt good. The rest,
the Scout was okay. Scout was okay.
Yeah, Doom of Chelsea. Yeah, but no, like some of those were so trash as raid weapons. I'm like, what are you doing to me?
See, and that would be cool. That's why I said there is a little excitement with
Defiance of Yasmin. Yes, that's a sniper.
Yeah, Defiance of Yasmin. Let's go.
And I can't remember the machine gun, the big ugly boy.
Quillum Terminus.
Yep.
I remember
that's it.
You know what I'm saying? But there is a little excitement to have the vault weapons, the Taken King weapons with the new perks, the weapon mods and stuff like that. There's a little excitement, a chance for them to be better and to have them kind of fit out in some cool archetypes. I think that has potential to be cool. But I think it's a great marketing tool. You just about to do the Taken Queen, but before you that, we gotta take it back. You fought.
Would you fight Oryx again though?
In a remix raid? Yeah, I think it's like a timepiece. It's a nostalgic piece. I think that's how I think they're marketing when they mentioned Vault was coming back. Yeah, yo, Whiskey. Wow.
I was like, go back and experience like Vault of Glass, but with like champions and stuff in there, things of that nature. They said basically, but it was like, if you kill Atheon again, is like, we're going back in time to see what. I mean, is that how do you? Because a lot of things they still
narratively.
Yeah,
that's what you're talking.
How do you?
I don't think it's canon. The vibe I'm getting is almost like an Age of Triumph kind of thing.
Just like,
You know,
experience this Destiny 1 raid remade into Destiny 2.
yeah.
Here you go.
This is how. Yeah, I think it's Age
With
of
slightly
Triumph.
new mechanics and
Yes.
D2 weapon
Yes.
hash, whatever.
Because you can't explain it narratively. You can't. We've done this, beat this. There's no way.
Yeah,
You can't explain it.
That'd be
Yeah.
weird.
Shout out to Whiskey. He says, I'm honestly starting to think they should have just made a new game. They need a new engine anyways. They should have made the new expansion as a new game like it was originally planned. All the D2 content weapons could stay and be a separate game to sell and purchase. They could continue to sell all the D2 stuff and put D3 or whatever in a new engine. Something feels like they're milking their insufficient tech. Wow, this game needs more competition. Wow. Okay, Whiskey.
And I
All
think
right.
this is where the fall will be telling as to what their, keep using bandwidth, whatever they can put out. What them as a studio, without the help of Activision or High Moon or anything else,
Right.
it really depends. How many weapons can you make for a fall expansion? How many story missions do we get? How many new strikes? I mean, we're losing a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect it all to come back in.
Right.
But yeah, it's like how much we get
Mhm.
until they're ready for the D3 moment. I think that's exactly, it's like they're trying to make the most of their current situation.
Right.
But yeah, as Whiskey said, it's like the D3 does have to, we've all said that, you, me, we've said that too many times, that I think it has to happen at some point because of all the limitations, because of whether it be cross play, whether it be next gen ray tracing tech. Like, if they want to be like, hey, here we're an old school, D2, action MMORPG, or you can go boot up your PS5 and experience ray tracing in Destiny 2 and just be blown away on how gorgeous that HDR lighting looks. Like, you try and run HDR through Destiny 2 right now. I was like, I think PC has it, but I was like, I still just wonder, like, some of that stuff may be already in there in the background. That may be stuff they may be building for, when the new consoles come out. But yeah, the reissuing begs the question of how much can they do for each expansion, and how. And again, I'll break everybody if I ever say, hey, what if there wasn't a fall expansion right now and D3 launched with Beyond Light? What if we didn't get a fall and Beyond Light launched in 2021, but that was on D3 new platform and they didn't do anything but make new stuff for a year quietly and go, bam, 2021.
I wouldn't oppose. I
So
wouldn't
no
listen.
new D2 stuff. Just like, enjoy what you got. We'll do Iron Banner and Trials, rotates every week in the way D1's going right now. And then D3 launches in 2021. Like, and that would give them time to just say, hey, this is maintenance, the whole studio, make new stuff. Focus, go.
I'm not going to be popular right now because I would co-sign that whole movement. Because I'm going to be honest with you, bro. You know what disgusted me? I ain't going to lie. You know what really disgusted me to Luke? And shout out to Luke. We know we love him. When Lupo said, so, with all these changes, and they said the magic words we was waiting to hear. And he said, so, what about them dedicated servers, though? And he said, no. Factly. I was just like, my heart sunk. I'm not going to lie, E. It crushed me. I was just like, and I get it because, let's be real, the way their system works, it's a very unique peer-to-peer system. Remember, they broke it down one time. And to me, that is structurally tied to the engine. Again, just looking for I'm not a dev, just looking, making observations. That looks like that's tied to your engine. That looks like that's part of the core of your game play. So my thing is, that can't be changed with this engine. You have to make it D3 because they raved about this new system when D2 was launched. They were like, look, this is what we improved from D1. This cannot be done in D1 now because we got this tremendous system, yada, 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 right? So we're stuck with this. I don't know how they're going to address the cheating. Let's be real. Let's call the elephant in the room. How they going to address the cheating with PvP with this engine? I don't know what they're working behind the scenes with Steam. So you got that. And again, there's still things they're not going to be able to run from with the old engine. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, chat or E, isn't Destiny using Unreal?
Didn't think so.
What are they using? They don't. They're using a custom engine. They're not using
Tiger engine is what they've called it forever.
The name is funny.
I'm pretty sure that's what I've heard it called is the Tiger engine.
So it's the Tiger. Oh, man.
Yep.
Could you imagine if it was like Unreal Engine 5, bro, or something?
I mean,
something.
They have to rebuild that from the ground up.
So we're still using Tigers.
Yeah, and I think part of the Destiny 2 gunplay is so unique.
So
the way they feel, the way it is, and that may be one of those. I honestly, this would be a fun question to ask them 20 years from now. Be like, hey, Luke, I'm like Luke being like, late 50s or something like that, about our age as well. I honestly would wonder into like when they had there's doesn't matter full tell-all book whatever. It's like
we need that.
They made the guns so good and perfect in their engine. I honestly wonder if somebody's sitting there be like, hey, see if you can recreate this in like Unreal. And I honestly wonder if they can't.
Yeah, they can't. Maybe it's just so custom.
It's so custom that like
be.
whatever the animation. And it's like, I feel like, because that is one of the special sauces of Destiny. That's why so many people still stick around is like the way the guns feel and kind of the way the heads explode, but that's a different thing. But the way they feel is, I wonder how hard that is to replicate.
Yeah, you could be onto something because
I'm guessing I have no idea. Maybe easy.
No, I mean it could very well be that I just think they have such a unique combination of systems that mesh that it just worked for them, and maybe they can't replicate that gun. I mean, case in point, you know what you may be really onto something is I'm a huge Mass Effect fan, right? Mass Effect 1 through 3 was done on Unreal, and that game looked phenomenal. It played phenomenal. Say what you want to say about Mass Effect 3, and we ain't gonna get to that. But as far as the game, as far as the visual fidelity and the engine, the way it moved, then Andromeda comes out. They are picked up by EA, and they're forced to put it on Frostbite.
Yep.
Bruh. The memes they had with the bad animations, it was horrible. So you could be right. It could be a situation that good old Tiger is what they know. And that's what they're comfortable with. And in that case, I won't fight. But you need to make Tiger 2.
No, it's like it needs, and that was, we got a tease of them updating things with, we got to see the Almighty get exploded. So they pulled their first live event and they continue.
Right.
Would you rather the feel of Hawkmoon but the new engine without it?
Well, I don't understand the trade-off there. What is he asking?
No, he would like Hawkmoon's coming back in the fall. Would I rather enjoy Hawkmoon with the feel that I know and love from D1, that I really enjoy the feel of that gun, or would I take Beyond Light in a new engine? I would honestly rather probably have the new engine because for one, it's a reissue. So I had my time in the sun with that, and it has been set to the side. But that's the question. Though. Like, what if no gun feels? What if we get a new engine, but it doesn't feel?
No, you're right.
It's got to feel like Destiny, and that's I think one of the pieces that they have to, if they ever go to either Destiny 3 in Tiger 2.0 or Unreal or whatever they go to, they have to make sure it still feels the way they want it to, because they are so based on
absolutely right.
They're based on two things: numbers, which is two weird things to be based on because they don't make sense together. They're very heavily based on numbers and data, and they're based on feel.
Right.
And oddly, those two don't make sense together, but
yeah. No, you nailed it. I think you're right. I think as much as I want that new engine, it's got to be the new Tiger engine. And I don't know if they're in any position already probably to do it, which is another reason probably why they wanted to break free from Activision, because we know Activision is on cadence. Activision is like, yo, every 3 years we giving you this bread and you going to pump out this, and this.
Yep.
And if you don't meet those requirements, we going to listen. There's a reason Activision let them go. Let's not act like Bungie just sat there and they broke free of independence. Activision also, in their defense, probably said to themselves, it's not worth the investment or the hassle based on the speed in which they can or cannot make content. So it's a mutual split. Remember, if Bungie was doing everything Activision wanted them to do, they would not be let go.
Right.
That's just a fact. And then we know Bungie also for their selves, they're like, look, we don't want to be controlled. We want our own freedom. We don't want certain things implemented. And that's that. So I think we knew that they probably weren't ready for D3 anyway. Let's just call it what it is. By themselves, without Vicarious, without Hyrule, they're not ready for D3 right now. Thus the statement, let's get, which I commend them, get in front of it, Say it's not coming right now. Staying with D2. But at some point, whether it be 3 years,
Yeah.
5 years,
Oh, I think like
there has to be
you
a
have these
D3.
3 expansions they announce. They picture and they're like, okay, how long does it take to build an engine, build a new game, and build all of the things? 3 years with whatever they're working on right now. That potentially is like, this is the public plan that you see 1, 2, 3 years of expansions.
Right.
Underneath that internally they have their building they have to build D3.
They have to. There's no way. And I know how they're going to get around it too. He was key about saying, Luke was key about not saying 3 as a number. But what you do is I guess, World of Warcraft, Destiny, blah, blah,
Just
blah.
Destiny.
Yeah, Destiny, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And that's the new version without putting a number on it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that, to me, you got to do it. Ain't
But
no way
also,
they running
that's
in
the
with
big
that
key
tiger.
is like,
Mhm.
sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to talk
No,
over
no,
you.
no, go ahead. No, please go.
Some people are saying that like, hey, if we get a darkness subclass in year 4, darkness subclass or some more darkness stuff in year 5, something else in year 6, you have the light and the dark. Lightfall happens. And then potentially do you have your MMO light versus dark, like, and you have to make a new character for D3 because you can pick the light side or the dark side. And it is truly like, is that how they do that? One other person was saying too, and I heard this rumor somewhere, can't remember where. If it's where I'm thinking of, I'm not going to say it. Potentially the reason they're taking so much out of the game is potentially they're working on some newer engine stuff and it's easier to move some things forward to a new engine. Same thing with the dungeon. Same thing with the dungeon that's in the game now that has to come out to come back later.
Okay.
Potentially the fall could be, Tiger Engine 1.4 or whatever. Like, and you get some updates to it and they remove and put, and while that stuff's out, it can be rehashed for whatever might come into the new. And then they actually have the systems. They chose like, what's the set of stuff that we can get done? And so that's why it's the biggest chunk out.
Right.
To think the fall is an update. But again, dedicated servers still kind of sucks.
Yeah, the question just becomes, I guess, if that's the case, and I know we move on, we're going for a while with it, but the question becomes...
Long point.
Long point. The question becomes, can a live service game can you do a full engine update and keep the game up at the same time? You know what I'm saying?
And that's kind of that's the tough question. I mean, we have the access to the API. Everybody does with Destiny Item Manager and Braytech. So you have the data. And if you can somehow take said new engine, still read data, but use it in the new, the fancy skinned way, potentially you could. Because they're going to shut down, they're going to patch the client, they're going to patch the servers, but they're still going to read my character data that's buried somewhere in a Bungie server. So if it reads all that and pulls it into said new engine, maybe it can. Again, so not a developer, not even remotely. But potentially it's like the data's sitting there.
Right.
Which is also really annoying to me why my vault can't be bigger. That's a separate issue entirely. The data just sits there. Give me another 500 lines on your data list there for my vault to be bigger. But all that being said, yeah, maybe that is a case. Maybe. Is there a point where Xbox One and S's and the PS4 regulars don't run Destiny 2 or 3 years from now and they only updated the the refresh? When do they start leaving old tech behind? Those aren't that really different.
That's happening because Xbox already alluded it after like a year or 2 years that it's going to be, they're leaving that S, and basically the Lockhart and the Xbox Series X is going to replace the Xbox One X, and the Lockhart is going to replace the Xbox One S. That's happening. It's just that they're doing a smooth transition with this smart delivery stuff in the beginning for like maybe 1 to 2 years, but there will be a cutoff. It's just like anything else.
When does Destiny make that cutoff?
They're going to have to. They're going to have to at some point.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we want things to look prettier. These things have like HDR and they have checkerboarding and all those things that they can do. That old school stuff, you guys are spinning up. Again, that's the point. That's the stuff to watch, like those type of decisions that get made a little bit farther apart too. Shout
out to Dizzy if Unreal Engine 5 can be upgraded too. Yeah, absolutely. And Forte, he says they'll take the game offline like Fortnite did when they transitioned the game to the new engine update. It's possible. And we have seen them this in their defense. Remember when they had some game-breaking situation, and remember they had to go back into their backup data archives and
Yeah.
reissue
Everybody
the
lost
game to a
currencies.
save
Everybody
state.
lost
Yeah.
currencies.
Yes. That was an impressive thing. So that means obviously the data backups were on point. They said that they were actually scared because that was the first time they actually had to test their own system.
Yep.
It could have been potentially disastrous.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that Forte, I think you're onto something. They would definitely have to take it down for like a day if they indeed plan to do it. And I hope that's the case. I just want a new engine. You can't be coming in there with them old busted Tigers for 5 years. That Tiger engine, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's time to step it up. You know, get him looking right out here. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, I mean, if you guys haven't seen, I probably said it in my video, Black Lives Matter pin, you can pre-order that. The new Pride pin from Bungie, you can pre-order that. So I got both of those coming. Check out the Bungie store. All profits from both of those pins go to very good causes on both ends. So again, they do all that stuff for always such good causes. So definitely go check those two out.
Please check out, if y'all got the ordered already, you get the emblem already, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
I gotta go dig mine out of email. It's good. Yeah.
Emblems are fire. Both of them are fire. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got them to match my little warlocks. You know what I'm saying? My void. You got the LGBTQ one, and then I got the all Black Lives Matter joint for my solo with the yellow. Got the outfits to match, man. I'm out here. Check me out.
But yeah, I was like, I know we talked about a whole random bunch of stuff. I know we started serious, and it's important stuff to cover. Bob is light, but somehow we fill up 2 hours every time getting off on tangent.
Every time.
We like
No, we do.
there's literally nothing in here besides. I mean, I told you the TLDR. It's like the world is on fire and Iron Banner's coming back, and we still go for 2 hours. So
how we do? It's the last word, man. That's what we do. We gotta get the last word in on these things. And create new things to get the last word.
It's like, and shout out, by the way, I know we forgot to mention because it was going on next week or last week. GCX finished with Bungie getting $800,000, Lupo getting $960, and the whole combined effort this time, $6 million going to St. Jude's from GCX. $6 million plus. That is something special.
Yeah.
And honestly, I cannot wait for Guardian Con next year because it has been.
Oh, bro.
It would be today.
It would be today.
It would be today and tomorrow.
Shout out to we had speaking of Teddy, teasing Teddy, who we had on the show last night.
Yep.
Like he said it hit him too. We was like we'd all been chilling together, and it would have been dope just to see a lot. Obviously thanks to you guys, the chat. You guys have been helping us promote this thing, and just to see y'all, being 56 of y'all in here right now, like super humbled to see, and just to meet people, now the name to the face. And a lot of people I know were going, and we would have got a chance to, even Jarv said he was going, like, I think many guests that we've had on. And
it's making the trip across the pond and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, man.
Yep, facts. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it would have been so much fun. And I can't wait for the world to go back to normal so we can get back to our cons, get back to Orlando, get back to the Orlando Leviathan that I call it, the Rosen Shingle that has all your desires.
The full raid experience,
The full raid experience. Yo, if y'all ain't been to the Rosen Shingle, man, that's the Leviathan, bro. You don't even need to leave that place. It has everything. Golf course, pool, whatever. It is humongous. They even fit multiple convention centers inside there. You got 3 raids in there.
It's huge in there, 3 raids. You got the basement, you got the penthouse, you got them all in there.
We got it all, man. So it's gonna be lit, man. 2021, we bounce back strong. Me and E will be in the building. We'll do a video in better lighting.
As long as some of these states get their act together, Florida is one of them.
Yes, yeah, facts.
But hopefully a year from now we're in a better place. Maybe we can see if a vaccine comes. God, who knows? But cross our fingers, something like that might happen. Needs to be done right, but hopefully that's maybe a possibility down the road eventually. But I think that's probably all. I was like, I think that's all we got for the podcast. We got to do a wrap up. Before we go, guys, for mine, I just kind of want to get mine out there first. On Sunday, for those of you guys who are out here listening, for Central Time, it's going to be 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. And please come keep me alive during that 1 a.m. section because I got to get up early the next morning in like 4 hours. So it's going to be a rough morning. I'm going to crash Monday afternoon. But I'm going to be doing a stream with the Karma's Revenge group. They've been doing one all week. I'm going to close down their weekly, their week-long streamathon, and it's all supporting Black Lives Matter. So
nice.
Everything donated in there that we're going to have links and just kind of doing that to help support Black Lives Matter. So come in there, hang out with me. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing. I might be working on Solo and Prophecy. We'll see, but definitely come hang out in there. So that will be again Sunday. That will be, what is that, 28th? And it's going to be 5 p.m. Central Time to 1 a.m. Central Time. I'll be closing down their full week. So definitely come hang out with me on that one. Other than that, you guys know where to find me. I might be playing Last of Us, Destiny, streaming Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Find me in all the places. It's been awesome. I know I went first, but that's one I wanted to get out there. So what's your weekend hold, sir?
Yeah, man. Well, first of all, again, first of all, salute to the chat, salute everybody. We got a lot of important topics talked about. Get your pins, y'all. Yeah, dab, make them do exercises too, because that was funny. But yeah, salute, get those pins, y'all. Bungie's out here doing good things. I got my first one. I'm just waiting for the Black Lives Matter joint. You know what I'm saying? So I can complete the trifecta. Got the emblems out there. But yeah, man, it was a good show. Yeah, for me, you already know, at Lord Cognito on Twitter. Iron Lord Podcast on YouTube. No guest this week because Cog needs a break introducing people. I put great care into these introductions, and sometimes it's just cool to just, talk with the fellas, talk with my brethren, talk to E on Last Word without necessarily, giving everyone the greatest introduction. Sometimes give my voice a little rest until next week. But so this week we will definitely, it's gonna be no guests, but we're gonna have some on fire topics, man. So look out for that. Probably gonna talk about that Cyberpunk. Probably gonna talk about that Halo Infinite tease. And he's gotta do it. He's gotta do it. Hit it, y'all. Hit the music. Now, as we see here at The Last Word, we support fitness. And with your donations to the Ebontis channel, you can make him do things like this. You can make him do push-ups, sit-ups. Look at the impressive form. Elbows are locked out right now. This is classic vintage. Fitness is the key to well-being, y'all. Wait, we ain't see the sit-ups. Where the sit-ups at? You be BSing right now. But we're going to let that pass. We're going to let that, because COVID belly's out here, so we're going to let that pass. But anyway. Yes, there we go. Make him do the sit-ups, y'all. Y'all use that 5,000. My man Redeem Mike, get him out there. Now look at this tremendous form, y'all. Look, he's got the knees tucked. Everything is going back. Look, crunching to the top. See that? That right there is a science, y'all. When you're in the gym, you want to crunch all the way to the top. Hit the knees. Look at the posture. This is how you do the sit-ups, y'all. Yo, everybody said dope these points. This is what you got to do, man. If you want to get back in shape, we here at The Last Word support fitness. And at any time, if you want E to hit that and give you that, he said that's it, to give you that proper form. This is what we do, baby. This is premium entertainment right now at The Last Word. You heard it here first. My man E. Get that man a fan and he's sweating like... he's back. They making him do it again. Firing up again. Wow. Check this out, y'all. Now we are at a record 30 to 40 push-ups. Yo, the guns are gonna be on. I'm telling you right now. You get the outer head of the tricep with this. Look at the form. You get your bicep work going on. Look at the posture. I'm telling y'all, this is prime stuff during a pandemic. We're happy to provide this service to you, all free of charge, based on Ebontis' hard work. I love this tier because I can just commentate all day. Yo, he's done.
Am I done?
He's done. Now, you better end the show. You better end the show quick because they ain't gonna let you off.
I think I'm done.
He's done. He's done for the night. No more, y'all. Y'all behave until next week, and then we reach out back at The Last Word Fitness channel. But anyway, I'm Cognito. You already know what it is. I love podcast.
Y'all suck.
1 p.m. Eastern. And look, if you want those fitness tips, my man E got you, man. He's a beast out here. He's a beast. See him?
Yeah, there's a few of you guys who could just ruin me.
Giving you that live entertainment, man.
I didn't even warm up.
That was funny.
I didn't even warm up.
Vagabondo is dying for it.
I got one more at Gaming Forte. Can I do some squats?
Yeah, get a squat going.
Squats. I'll do even some squat holds. I got legs. I can do those.
That's it, man. Get my boy out here, man. He's beasting. Yo, yeah. He said, I encouraged it. Yeah, Crystal, this is your fault. This is your fault, Crystal. 130K. You got 130K. Oh, check this out. Here we go. Now, we're not doing the weighted. Look at the posture. Look at the posture. No jump. Come on, no jumping lunges, Paul Fine. We got to be nice. You got to be nice. No jumping lunges. Look at the good form. You're going low, and I can't say the word, but it's behind the grass. It's another term we use in the gym, but it's to grass. So that's what we're doing right here. Normally we would have, exactly, I can't say it. It's a family-friendly show. I can't say it. So textbook fundamentals. See, what you do is you keep the arms forward, the back is straight, nice and low. There you go. That is a very high, difficult move, y'all. Let me explain. When the arm is extended, tremendous. Look at the pause. Look at the low center of gravity. Look at the big, he's flossing right now. That's a person whose lower half is on point, all right? That's letting you know, not anybody could do this. Yo, dumb as crap. This is what we do at The Last Word, man. It's all about the fitness, baby. We getting it right. We getting you jacked up. Before you play that Destiny, you got to be jacked up. What you got to do? And on that note, you better end the show because they ain't going to stop.
No, they're not, are they?
Yo, salute to y'all, man. The chat is hilarious.
Okay.
Peaceful.
Well, I hope everybody on video enjoyed this one. And one more thing.
Yes.
For one, I gotta breathe. So, what I want to make sure we do is, you guys know Mixer actually got merged into Facebook Gaming. Some people stayed there. Some people coming back to Twitch. That being said, I want to raid a previous Mixer person coming over to Twitch when we get done. So, we're going to go hang out with Brofish after this. So go hang out with her, send her some love. As for me, I'm going to drink some water here. Y'all.
Yes. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Don't you start. There ain't no tear for me, wishful thinking. Don't you start.
Yeah, it's going to take 10,000 points to get Cognito in here. You guys gonna have to start donating like bits and stuff to see that man go. You guys are lucky I'm worth points. I'm gonna have to turn these points higher. You guys have too many. I'm gonna make this worth 10,000.
You're gonna have to change that tier, bro.
5,000. 5,000's too scary. You guys are like, I'll jump another 5. I got like a gazillion.
Oh yeah, facts, no doubt. So yeah, I like what you're doing. You got the dab going. You got my boy dabbing. Salute. But yeah, we gotta salute for the people who are now. You know, we know the situation with Mixer, you know, going over to Facebook gaming or going over to Twitch. You know what I'm saying? Let's definitely.
Yeah, they're going some places depending on where they were. So.
Absolutely.
All right. So Sunday, 5 p.m. Central, come right back here. Hang out with me, twitch.tv/Shabantis, supporting Black Lives Matter all night long till I fall asleep, hopefully not in the chair. And hang out on stream, guys. I'm going to send the raid over. So we're going to wrap this thing up. Episode 109. Started somber, definitely important stuff. Finished with insanity. Thank you guys very much for being here for episode 109. It has been The Last Word.